Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
A 100-degree day has turned into a toasty night here in Kansas City as the Tigers bring the first leg of their road trip to a close. Welcome to Kauffman Stadium in KC tonight. It's Game 4 in this series featuring the Detroit Tigers and the Kansas City Royals. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pepper, Rod Allen, glad to have you with us for the series finale. A tough loss last night for the Tigers, Rod. You certainly wanted to see them win that game. However, you have a chance to win the series with victory tonight.
Well, that's exactly what the Tigers had planned on when they embarked on this 7-game road trip. They wanted to win 5 of the 7 games. They can take the first 3 or 4 here with a win tonight against a very tough customer in Danny Duffy. Then they got to handle their business when they get to Minnesota. They've dug such a deep hole for themselves. They have to win series the remainder of the way if they're going to get back in this thing and, more importantly, get back to 500.
All right, now the storyline tonight certainly is the marquee matchup. Michael Fulmer for the Tigers, Danny Duffy for the Royals. Both of these guys are as good as it gets.
Wow. Michael Fulmer, he's a no-hitter in waiting as far as I'm concerned. His stuff this year has been tremendous. The fastball 95 and above every time he unleashes one, and he unleashes a bunch of those. On the 29th of June, he nearly completed a game against his Kansas City Royals team, and he was filthy. He gave up 7 hits, 2 earned runs in that contest. Both of those came very late. He had 7 punch-outs and 8 in a third. His changeup has been lethal all season long. The batting average against that pitch, right around 200. He's going to have to be on top of his game, however, because Danny Duffy, well, he's one of your better left-handers in the game of baseball. The Tigers have already seen 2 left-handers in this series, but not like Duffy. Power fastball up to 95, real nice breaking ball, and he's got a plus-plus changeup, and he kills right-handers with that changeup. This should be a really fun pitching matchup here tonight. You got one of the best right-handers in the sport, and you have one of the best left-handers in the sport in Danny Duffy. Who will blink first here tonight? I can't wait for this one to start.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing this one here this evening. Now, the Tigers have got a lot of production from the bottom of their lineup. Alex Presley has done good work, but so has Mikey Matuk. Had the huge home run last night, and the month of July for Matuk has been big.
You know, Matuk kind of got off to a slow start this year because really he wasn't playing every single day because Jacoby Jones was occupying center field. But really, since the calendar turned to June and Jones was down in the minor leagues, Matuk has gotten some consistent reps, and he's gotten off. Here's his batting average this month, but you can go all the way back to the beginning of June, and he's still hitting .333. Couple of home runs already in July, 7 RBI, big home run in last night's game, nearly gave the Tigers a victory in that particular game. But I just love the energy that he's playing with right now, running the bases, making all the plays in center field, and the guys have a lot of fun with Mikey Matuk.
All right, Tigers trying to win a series here tonight. The final game of the series just minutes away after a short break. We'll go to the Coliseum Studios, check in with John Keating. We coming up this one tonight. Tigers 1 win away from getting a series win. Stay with us. Tigers Royals, Game 4 from Kauffman Stadium next.
in the American League is concerned. Chris Sale putting up Chris Sale-like numbers in his first year in Boston. Corey Kluber's been there before, showing he can do it again. And Michael Fulmer, just a year removed from his Rookie of the Year nod in the American League, is also among those being considered at this point in the season. And for his part, Fulmer is not backing down from that kind of talk at all. In fact, he's embracing the notion.
It means a lot, and I'm honored. With that being said, I've got a long way to go. Obviously, there's a ton of stud pitchers in the American League right now, and we faced a bunch of them. We've beaten a few of them, so it's always tough to think of yourself and up next to those guys. But it's really an honor to be mentioned like that. But like I said, it's a lot of season left. I got a long way to go. I got to work on myself first and worry about that at the end of the year.
You've had a lot of success, and you've remained very even-keeled throughout it all. What's been the key to that for you?
I think it's just my teammates, kind of keeping me level-headed and basically being open books when I ask them questions and just trying to learn each and every day and just try to become a better player and a better person each day.
Fulmer will take the best ERA on the road in the American League this year to the hill with him today in search of win number 11 and a series victory for the Tigers as they wrap up this 4-game set against the Royals. Mario and Rod have the call coming your way next on Fox Sports Detroit. Enjoy the game, everybody.
A part of Detroit and the community since 1849. And by Jeep. See your Jeep dealer today and experience the freedom that comes with legendary capability. Back here in Kansas City, and the story here tonight, well, it's got to be the weather. It is 97 degrees right now, hot and clear to say the least, and the heat index well over 100 here at game time tonight. So it's going to be a toasty night. Here is the Tigers starting lineup tonight, presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. As usual, Ian Kinsler will get things started for the Tigers. Then Castellanos and Upton. Miguel Cabrera batting cleanup. Then Matuk and Victor Martinez, who's been hot of late. McCann will catch. Romine is in right. And Iglesias is the shortstop. Starting pitcher is Danny Duffy, presented by Jeff Glover and Associates Realtors.
And Duffy was really good in his last outing against the Texas Rangers, but he went up against Cole Hamill and lost that contest 1-0. He'll need to be on point again here tonight going against Fulmer. He's got a fastball that gets into the mid-90s. He's got a really good breaking ball. He's got a plus-plus changeup, mostly to right-handers.
So here is Kinsler getting set to lead things off for the Tigers. Kinsler has really had a good series. 6 for 16. He's had a couple of doubles, a couple of triples, and really, Rod, as he has gone, so has the Tigers offense.
It's pretty much been that way since he put on the Tigers uniform. When he's leading off and he's getting on base, he usually touches home plate, and that's usually a really good thing for the Tigers offense.
So Kinsler, Castellanos, and Upton here in the first inning.
Ian Kinsler was asked earlier this year of the 5 toughest pitchers in the American League Central to go up against, and Danny Duffy's name was on that list. So we'll see how this plays out tonight for Ian Kinsler.
Tough left-hander in Duffy. And we are ready for tonight's first pitch of the ball game, and Kinsler will swing and send it high in the air to center, but playable for Lorenzo Cain, staring into the sunlight, and one gone.
Let's take a look at the Kansas City Royals starting defense. It is brought to you by Tim Hortons. Ned Yost, their manager, he pretty much lines it up the same exact way every single night. Well, this is the way they lined up last night. Gordon, Cain, Bonifacio, Moustakas, Escobar, Merrifield, and Eric Hosmer, and Perez would be the starting catcher.
Here is Nicholas Castellanos. Nick in the 2 slot for the Tigers tonight. 7 for 14 in the series. Duffy works it home, and Nick looks at a ball high and outside. 1-0.
You may notice that Duffy, when on the mound, he does not have the typical windup that most starting pitchers do. And the reason for that is a couple of years ago he was struggling with his delivery. So he was pitching out of the bullpen, and of course when you pitch out of the bullpen you pitch exclusively from the stretch. And he felt so comfortable doing so that now he's back in the rotation, he has simply stayed with this same type of delivery.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. High fly ball right field. This will send Bonifacio back to the edge of the warning track. Couple of deep fly ball outs. 2 away.
Let's take one look at this last delivery of Danny Duffy. You don't usually see guys slide step when no one's on base, but he slide steps here, and you can catch a pitcher and a hitter off guard by doing so. You're always accustomed to the guy picking that foot up, but he didn't do that, and he crowded Nicholas with that fastball.
So 2 up, 2 down for the Tigers. Here is Justin Upton. 4 hits in the series, double, couple of runs scored, batting a solid .273 now for the Tigers. And J-Up will foul the first one away. 0-1. Tigers to come out swinging the bats early here tonight against Duffy.
And they don't want to allow Duffy to get ahead with that first pitch fastball, because the right-handers, they know the changeup is a devastating pitch. J-Up's been real good in his career against Duffy. A couple of homers, 364.
Now they go 1. That is popped up foul. This will get back into the seats.
Here's the scouting report on Duffy. And we talked about the changeup. He holds right-handers to a .151 batting average with that pitch. The fastball's been getting hit around this year. They're batting .331 on that pitch. Has not given up a home run here at home, and you see the usage. Fastball, slider, lots of sliders, and lots of changeups. Mostly sliders to lefties, changeups to righties.
The 0-2. Checked it. And he tipped it into the glove. That's strike 3, and Duffy has himself a 1-2-3 inning.
J-Up is talking to Mark Rippinger, saying that ball bounced. Nope, he caught it.
Nope, he did catch it. 6-pitch inning for Duffy, and a good start for the Kansas City lefty. Michael Fulmer taking the mound for the Tigers, and he is presented tonight by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
And back on the 29th of June, Fulmer went up against the Kansas City Royals and nearly pitched a complete game. He was simply dominant, but he's been dominant all year. He's an all-star this season, 10 wins, 3 ERA with a whip of just a shade over 1 for Michael Fulmer.
And the first man he will face is their leadoff man, Whit Merrifield, who is enjoying a 6-game hitting streak. Danny Duffy, 6-pitch first inning, and now Fulmer to the mound for the Tigers, and Merrifield looks at ball 1 up and in. 95 at the chin of Whit. A couple of doubles in the series for Merrifield, 4 hits overall.
We'll be saying 95 quite often tonight because that's pretty much where Fulmer sits with his fastball.
Again, mid-90s, 96 that time. Mark Ripperger is your home plate umpire.
Verlander was outstanding last night as well as far as his fastball is concerned. He got up to 99, and most of Verlander's fastballs were 95 and above in his outing.
Here's the 1-1. One and 2 now on Merrifield. It's a bouncing ball hit toward third base. Castellanos flattened out on him. He throws high, safe at first base.
We were just talking about Castellanos and how well he had been playing defensively lately. He's already committed 14 errors, and they're going to give Merrifield a gift hit there. Ball stayed down on Nick. He went down, threw from a sidearm angle, pulled Miggy off the bag. Therefore, Whit Merrifield able to get himself a infield single.
How was that a base hit?
Well, they
Yeah,
changed
it.
Yeah, they changed it.
That's got to be an error.
Yeah, that's the 15th error this year for Nicholas.
Leadoff man on for the Royals, and that'll bring up Jorge Bonifacio. Bonifacio is 2 out of 12 in the series. Hitless in the ball game last night, bringing to an end his 9-game hitting streak.
However, he was able to keep his on-base streak going last night. On base 23 consecutive games for the rookie right fielder Bonifacio. Merrifield can run.
The 1-0 rolled foul. The count levels now 1 ball, 1 strike. Rest of the lineup for the Royals presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Merrifield, Bonifacio, and Kane at the top. Hosmer cleaning up, followed by Perez and Moustakas. Brandon Moss had a big night last night. He's batting 8th in the lineup, and he was 3 out of 4 with a double and a homer. Had that huge double in the bottom of the 9th. 1 ball and 1 strike on Jorge Bonifacio.
There's only been 3 attempted steals all year against Michael Fulmer. 1 successful and 2 have been caught, which means he does an outstanding job at basically just shutting down the running game. He's had a ton of starts this year and only 3 attempted steals. Merrifield's got 15 steals. He's been caught once. That's an amazing number for a power pitcher to shut down the running game as well as Fulmer has.
You don't normally see that, do you?
No, not guys that throw 95 and above. They usually have high leg kicks.
Sliced out of play, 1 and 2.
Here's where Fulmer pitches to contact. He will throw a changeup or a breaking ball, and he's simply trying to get that ground ball. He could strike Bonifacio out, but Fulmer doesn't really go for strikeouts. He likes the contact on 1 of the 3 pitches, and he's been outstanding at doing that all year. And because of that, the defenders stay on their toes when Michael Fulmer's on the bump.
6 straight starts of 300 runs or fewer allowed by Fulmer.
That's pretty good.
Now the 1-2, and he missed high with the mid-90s fastball.
And double plays this season for Michael Fulmer, 15 forced and 89 opportunities.
Kane waiting on deck. The 2-2 is sliced to center field and down, a base hit. On his way to third base is Merrifield. It's bobbled out there in center field. They're going to try and score him, and they will. Merrifield comes around, and the Royals have a 1-0 lead.
Ball hit sharply off the bat of Bonifacio. Montook gets over there, and he's looking to turn and throw at the same time. He mishandles it, and you have to give their third base coach a lot of credit. Mike Jershely picks him up about right now. That would be Merrifield. Jershely, he saw the bobble, and he sent Merrifield home with the first run of the game. That's a gift run so far here today for the Kansas City Royals on a couple of miscues.
Tigers with 2 errors, one by Castellanos and one now by Montook, a single, no RBI.
They usually play outstanding defense behind Michael Fulmer.
Here is Lorenzo Cain with nobody out. Cain swings and misses 0-1. .268 for Cain in the series, 2 out of 11. He's got a double. Tigers, for the most part, have been able to handle him, but Cain has gone 3 for his last 22 now, so he has struggled. The 0-1. Little roller toward third, foul.
And one more look at Whit Merrifield running from first base. He should have picked up his third base coach a lot sooner. He was looking behind him, and then when he finally picked up Mike Jershely, who was the third base coach, he saw him waving him home with that right arm.
Meanwhile, 0-2 on Cain. Little bit slowing in. Change up that time from Fulmer.
I like the fact that Fulmer has already made an adjustment here, 3 batters in. He could clearly see that Bonifacio, who was standing on second base, was sitting on the fastball. He threw him 4 straight fastballs. The last one he ripped into right center field. He has thrown Cain 3 off-speed pitches in a row. Now he can get away with that mid-90s fastball should he choose to throw it here.
Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss.
Ooh, that slide piece.
Slider away, got Cain swinging, and that is the first strikeout of the game.
Get you caught up on the Tigers' defensive alignment here today behind the All-Star Michael Fulmer. Well, he's an All-Star too. That would be J-Up. Montook in center, Romine getting his first start in right field this year. Castellanos, Iglesias, Kinsler, the big fella, Miguel Cabrera anchored at first, and James McCann is catching. That slider right there just absolutely dirty. And Michael said in his last outing against the Toronto Blue Jays, he had his best slider of the year. Very consistent with that pitch 5 days ago. And really, it's a pitch he hadn't had with consistency all season.
Eric Hosmer will stand in now for the Royals. Fulmer has won his last 4 consecutive decisions, and he's gone to 10-6 on the season. Tigers have won 11 of his 18 starts.
And because of those numbers you just spit out, and Michael Fulmer, at least right now, is in the Cy Young conversation with a few other guys in the American League.
2-0 on Hosmer.
And dangerous count here if you decide to throw Hosmer a fastball. He's got bad intentions when he is sitting in this count.
13 home runs for Hosmer. Hit one earlier in the series against the Tigers.
He's been very good at hitting the ball the opposite way. His batting average over 400 when hitting it the opposite way. When he pulls the ball this year, his batting average is under 200.
Here's the 2-0. Outside, 3 balls, no strikes.
For a team that really sees the fewest pitches per plate appearance in the majors, they are somewhat patient here tonight against Fulmer. They see just over 3.5 pitches per plate appearance as a team this year.
The fewest amount of walks as well in the American League.
So they don't stay around very long in the batter's box.
That could be the fewest amount of walks in baseball. Now the 3-0. Hosmer will take a strike called 3-1.
Good change up there because he knew Hosmer, if it was a fastball, would have been swinging. Moustakas a couple of times yesterday swung at 3-0 pitches against Justin Verlander.
Hosmer has been on base in 16 straight against the Tigers. Now the 3-1. Outside, he walked him. Hosmer gets the base on balls, and there are 2 on now with 1 out. Menards brings you the big money encounter. Most starts with 7 or more innings pitched and 2 or fewer earned runs allowed in the American League this year. Look at Fulmer, 7 of those.
Yeah, Danny Duffy, his counterpart here this evening, also on that list, and Vargas, who the Tigers beat up on in the first game of the series, also 7 starts this year, 2 earned runs or less.
Here is Salvador Perez.
And Michael still looking for the ground ball.
Swing and a miss. Perez missed on the slider, 0-1.
And if you've been with us the last 3 nights, we've told you that Salvador has grounded into more double plays than anyone on their squad. 14 of those to be exact.
Tigers plan to pull on the infield against him. And that's fouled off, hit his bat. Two-seamer that rode in, and the count 0-2 now on Perez. 3 for 10 with a big triple in this series, and the 3-bagger last night. A difficult loss for the Tigers. They'd come back and taken the lead in the top of the 9th, only to give it up in walk-off fashion. Now the 0-2. Wouldn't chase.
It's a nice take there by Perez because that's an outstanding slider. I mean, it stayed on the fastball plane until it got about 3 feet from home plate and kind of inched its way off the plate a couple of inches.
So Danny Duffy threw 6 first-inning pitches, and now Fulmer about to throw his 22nd. Perez takes low, 2-2.
You know, Fulmer was talking before we came on the road trip about one of the reasons he believed he had his best slider in his last outing against Toronto. He's been throwing that curveball a lot, Mario, not so much in games, but a lot while playing catch. He's been working on it in bullpen sessions as well. And he says because he's been throwing that curveball, which kind of forces you into getting on top, it's kind of helped him get on top of his slider a little bit more. And because of that, it's turned into a much better pitch in his last couple of outings.
Well, the last slider he threw there bounced in way outside, and the count fills now 3-2. Bit of a sluggish start for the Tigers right-hander, but he's not been helped out by his defense. 2 errors in this first inning. The stock is waiting on deck. Here's the 3-2. Fouled back out of play by Perez.
Yeah, this is one of those nights as well where it's very hot out there. The temperature at the start of the game was right around 96, 97. Fulmer said throwing his bullpen session a couple of days ago here in their bullpen where it's still AstroTurf, it's 120 degrees out there, so he felt like he would need about 3 or 4 jerseys this evening.
Heat index at game time was 107. Little pop-up back at third, might be trouble, and it's going to drop. Base hit. Oh, they got 2 runners standing at third base now. They'll throw it to the plate, and it gets away, and the Royals will score a run.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that is not good at all. Bonifacio comes in to make it 2-0.
Bloop single by Perez, Eric Hosmer, running from first base, is running with his head down, so he basically ran the base runner off the base. That would be Bonifacio. Then Bonifacio takes off, and the ball is lobbed in by Iglesias. It short hops McCann. He can't make the play, and by the time Fulmer picks the ball up, Bonifacio able to cross home plate. You got to be kidding me.
Perez doesn't know what's going on. What are you guys doing? He ends up at second base. It'll be a single E6. That is the third error in this inning for the Tigers. And a 2-0 Kansas City lead.
Michael Fulmer's had a couple of starts in this ballpark, both last year, and he lost both of those starts, but he pitched very well. And Michael's showing a little frustration here. We haven't seen this out of Michael.
Still only 1 out, 2 runs in, second and third for the Royals. Here's Mike Moustakas. Swing and a miss, 0-1. 3 Tigers errors. And Fulmer right now trying to limit the damage. Moustakas .269, 3 out of 12 in the series. Ball 1 low, and so now the pitches are starting to mount for Fulmer. He's at 27 in this hot, humid night.
And that jersey that he has on right now is already drenched.
Here's the 1-1. Check swing low, 2 balls and 1 strike. Tigers as a team were really pretty good defensively when you look at the rest of the league. They came in with 4th best fielding percentage. They had only 47 errors this year. The 3 big ones here in the first inning.
All 3 errors in the inning, too, Mario. Not physical errors, mental errors.
That's in the air to shallow right field, and it's going to drop, base hit. Another run will score, another blue pit. Moustakas has an RBI, and it's 3-0 KC. Hosmer comes in to score. Everything going the Royals' way right now. Meanwhile, Fulmer about to throw his 30th pitch.
The only ball that has been hit hard in this inning is the one that came off the bat of Bonifacio, the ball into right center field that Matuk made the error on, but the error by off the bat of Merrifield. Perez bloop single, Moustakas bloop single.
Here is Escobar. Ball 1. Michael has not been very good in terms of locating that slider. He's thrown a couple in the dirt.
He's thrown a total of 30 pitches in 16 strikes, 14 balls.
Here's the 1-0. Bouncing ball, first base. Cabrera has it, tags the bag 1. Now they're going to throw across the diamond. Here comes Perez sliding in, and he's going to, oh, he's safe. Perez with the head first slide somehow eluded the tag.
It did look like he got the left hand in ahead of the tag of McCann. I think McCann, when he swiped at him the first time, he missed him, and Perez, he just put that hand down there and he was able to get the plate with it. We'll take one look at it here. Look like he got the hand right underneath the glove.
Tigers are determining whether or not they want to challenge.
He missed it.
Yeah, he sure did. Wow. That is a tremendous slide.
It was.
Fielder's choice and an RBI. So here is Brandon Moss now, 4-0 Royals. Foul back. Moss had a big night last night. Homered off Verlander to tie the game at 1, and then had the huge double in the 9th inning off Justin Wilson. And he's done really good work against left-handed pitching this year. Here's the 0-1. So the long inning continues. Meanwhile, Danny Duffy trying to keep cool on his bench. Teammates have spotted him 4 runs here. Outside, ball 2 to Moss.
And Michael Fulmer has already thrown 34 pitches. First time Tigers with 3 errors in an inning since May of 2010. And I bring up the Fulmer pitch count only because in his last outing against Toronto, he needed only 36 pitches to get through the first 3 innings.
Way inside. Well, you can factor in a little bit of tough luck with the 3 errors and this slide right here by Perez. It looked like Salvador was a dead duck, but a good call by Ripperger, who is right on it. Three and 1 on Brandon Moss. 3 and 2. He is the 8th man to bat in the inning. Here's the 3-2. In the air to center field on the line. Matuk. That'll end the inning. A big frame for the Royals. They score 4 times. Tigers commit 3 errors. And now they'll have to go back to work against Danny Duffy. And when you look at some of the numbers the Tigers put up against Duffy last season, there is certainly hope for the Tigers and a long way to go in this one. They manhandled them last year.
They hit 10 home runs against Duffy in 7 games last season. That's a lot of starts for Duffy against Tiger bats in 18 games.
He had a few of those that were relief appearances, but most of those were starts. Cabrera leads it off for the Tigers. Duffy began the year last year in the bullpen for the Royals and then joined the rotation. And as soon as he did, he took off. Spent some time on the DL this year with an oblique problem.
5 of the 7 games last year against Tigers were starts by Duffy.
1-1 on Miguel. He'll be followed by Matuk and then Victor Martinez. Duffy had a 6-pitch first inning. Here's the 1-1. Slice foul. 1-2 on Miguel. Cabrera in the series 2 out of 13. Next RBI is going to be his 1600th in the big leagues.
It's a lot. It's a lot of stakes.
Now the 1-2. Tigers in the first 2 games in the series put up double-digit hits. 14 hits in game 1, then 16 the next night. But last night they were pretty much stopped by Hamill. And didn't score until really late in the game after getting a run in the first. Cabrera takes low. 2-2 the count on Miguel.
These Royals outfielders play as shallow as any trio in baseball. I mean, Kane in center field, very shallow. He's shading Miguel over into right center field. Gordon also in left field, shallow. Miguel has a ton of room to work with in left center field should he pull one in that direction.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Cabrera down on strikes. Second whiff of the game for Duffy. Here is Chevrolet's most dependable player as Mikey Matuk comes strolling in. Since June 1st, the numbers have been really good.
333 with 4 homers and 14 driven in. The OPS over 850. Mikey Matuk also batting a cool 333 in the month of July. So
nice.
He's consistent. 333 over the course of the last 2 months.
Matuk, 6 homers now, the average at 276 overall.
Yeah, Matuk along with Presley, they've been playing some pretty good baseball, platooning in center field for the most part.
Mikey skies one foul, back out of play.
And Mikey's hit a couple of home runs in the series. The first one traveled 445 feet. That was in the first game of the series against Jason Vargas. And then last night against Kelvin Herrera. This would have given the Tigers a win had they been able to finish it off in the bottom half of the 9th inning. But that was a clutch home run last night by Matuk in the top half of the 9th inning to give the Tigers the lead momentarily.
And you had to love the emotion out of Mikey. Whoa, when he rounded the bases. Swing and a miss. Duffy tied him up there.
Well, it's going to be a tough assignment here tonight with Duffy on the mound. He's got plus stuff, fastball mid-90s, outstanding slider, and his changeup has been death on righties this year. I mean, literally death.
Victor waiting on deck. 1-2 the count. Duffy signed to a contract extension, a 5-year deal in the month of January this past offseason. In fact, he was part of Dayton Moore's first official draft with the Royals way back in '07.
He had a career year last year after starting the season in the bullpen.
Finished up 12-3 for the Royals. Slice to right center field. That looks like trouble. It's going to get down and go all the way to the warning track. Cut off by Bonifacio. It'll be a double for Mikey Matuk. Tigers have their first hit of the game.
And Matuk just continues to get it done. That's a fastball right around the belt buckle, and it's on the outer third of home plate. He just stayed with it and drove it the other way. It's a nice at-bat by Matuk, but really, in the last 6 weeks, and most of his at-bats have been really good ones.
Mikey now 6 for 13 in this series. Here's Victor Martinez. V-Mart had himself a pretty good series as well, 5 for 11. He drew the walk with 1 out in the 9th inning last night that set up the home run by Matuk. Royals got 4 in the first. Only 3 of those runs, or only 1 was earned, I should say. 3 were unearned against Fulmer. Pickoff throw is high. Merrifield skating in behind the runner. See if the Royals want a challenge here. Close play, but I think he got back in there. Now the home plate umpire Mark Ripperger saying, "What's your decision here?"
They're going to look
challenge.
at this. I think they may have blocked the bag, and Matuk didn't get back to the bag. Possibly. We'll take a look at it. Yeah. Merrifield's got his foot, and he's blocking that plate. He's blocking the bag.
But I'm not sure you can really tell from that angle definitively. See if we have any other looks at it. That's Tom Hallion on the left, the crew chief. So the Royals challenging here the pickoff throw. They're showing it on the big board, and pretty good look. It appears that Matuk was blocked from getting back into the bag at second.
Yeah, Merrifield took his right foot, put it right in position where Matuk was sliding with his right foot, and it doesn't look like Matuk's foot got to the bag.
Nope, you're right. Look at that right there. That's pretty clear indication.
And so last night, Justin Verlander picked off Bonifacio from second base, and tonight it appears that Duffy and picks off Matuk at second base.
Well, it appears that way.
And you can see Merrifield intentionally puts his foot right where he puts it.
But again, the longer this takes, the more it seems to indicate that they can't find anything definitive. And what do we have? He's out. So the pickoff works. Matuk is out in second.
This has not been a good start tonight for the Tigers.
Sluggish, to say the least. Minute 29 seconds on that review, so that was well within the 2 minutes that they're trying to keep all reviews to this year. Meanwhile, it's 1-0 on Victor. Fly ball right field. That'll chase Bonifacio back. Still going. Track. And he'll make the catch. Inning over. No runs. 1 hit. Nobody left.
Game summary, boy, the Tigers get off to a very rough first inning. Errors by Castellanos, Matuk, and also Iglesias aided the Kansas City Royals in scoring 4 runs in the first frame on 3 hits. Just not a really pretty inning for the Tigers in the bottom half of the first frame, and this should have been an out and home plate. It's a great slide by Salvador Perez, but he should have been out.
First pitch is lined to right field, and it's going to be caught on a dive there by Romine, who's making his first start in right tonight.
Yeah, but Romine, wherever he plays, he brings that glove, and he's an adequate defender, whether it's right field, center field, left field, or any of the infield positions. This ball was hooking, and Romine left his feet and made a really nice grab.
It doesn't matter where they put that guy. He will find a way to field his position.
He's a winning player.
By the way, the 3 errors made by the Tigers in the first inning, that's the first time that they've committed 3 errors in the first inning since 1989. September of '89. And it led to 4 runs. Merrifield the batter. Ball high. Merrifield reaching on one of those errors by the third baseman Castellanos. Fulmer looking for a much quicker inning. He threw 37 first inning pitches. One and two. Fulmer again with the slider, trying to get him to chase. No dice.
And Michael might want to start that slider pretty much down the middle of the plate, because it appears to me when he does throw it, he throws it outside and then it goes off the plate. And so if you start something right down the middle, those will get to the corner. Like that one.
Merrifield out on strikes, 2 gone. Will be the second strikeout of the game for Michael. Now Bonifacio will stand in. Singleton scored in the first inning. Swing and a miss. There's another one. And slider and good location there. Bonifacio 0-1.
He had that conversation with Chris Archer at the All-Star game. As a matter of fact, they both played catch together when they were in Miami, and both guys making the All-Star team. And Michael was picking Archer's brain about the slider, trying to get some tips. And why not? Archer has one of the better sliders in all of baseball.
I always wondered about giving information to other players. Obviously, you'll be going up against these guys.
Right.
I don't know if you want to give them too many tips.
You'd be surprised, man.
The 1-1. High pop up. Third base side, foul ground. Castellanos is drifting, and he'll make the catch.
Man, Jay up, or Iglesias has to help Nicholas out there.
Favor the Royals here tonight, and stay tuned to Tigers Live. Following the game, we'll select the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers player of the game, presented by McDonald's. Stop by for your breakfast favorites, now being served all day. Well, back to work go the Tiger Bats. It'll be McCann to get things started here against Duffy. It'll be McCann, Romine, Iglesias. Tigers got a double from Matuk at second, or in the second, and then he was picked off. The third pickoff of the year by Duffy. McCann fouls it back out of play. James 2 out of 5 in the series, batting .208. This is one of those nights where you really feel bad for three guys on the field. The two catchers and the home plate umpire.
Yes, indeed. Those are the ones that have to wear that gear.
The 0-1. Pulled on the ground, foul. Good pickup down there. 0-2 on McCann. Wonder how many pounds you lose on a night like tonight, especially if you're a guy like McCann, or you know, the pitcher as well. You're involved in every play.
And you can easily drop 3 or 4, no doubt. That's why it's very important not to try to hydrate the day of the game, but you have to start hydrating for a series like this a couple of days before you even come to town.
But Duffy threaded the needle with a slider on the outer edge. McCann didn't like it. Third strikeout of the game for Duffy. Well, time is running out to get tickets for only $7.20 to see the Tigers take on the Royals and Astros next week. Offer expires at midnight tonight. If you'd like to order, go to tigers.com/tickets and use the coupon code 7. How about that? $7.20.
Yeah, that's a pretty good price.
A really good price. Take advantage. Romine the batter. Andrew making his first start in right field, and he made a sprawling catch last half inning. .231 this year, a career high 4 home runs for Romine. Funny, you go to Romine before the game and you talk to him at his locker about playing a position that he's played very little of in the past, and he's just so matter of fact about the situation. Well, I'll just bring my outfield out there and go play right field.
That's right.
It's no big deal.
Right.
The 1-1. And you know, Romine, I guess during batting practice, is all over the place, playing multiple positions to keep sharp at all of them.
And the thing that he does, Mario, is he plays the ball off the bat like it's live game situation when he's going to the various positions, because that's the only way you can get a true read of the ball off the bat.
Bouncing ball to second. It's scooped up by Merrifield, and there are 2 outs.
And what I mean by that, if it's a right-handed batter and he hits the ball to right field, where Romine's playing right field today, that ball tends to have a slice to it. And if Romine's playing out there for the very first time, you're not necessarily accustomed to that. But he makes a real nice play here today off the bat of a left-hander. That ball had some hook to it. So you know when you're going up against a right-hander, more than likely it's going to be sliced. Left-handed, the ball is going to hook toward that right field line. So Romine knows that because he's always working hard during batting practice.
Here is Iglesias. Chopper left side of the infield. Moustakas cuts it off. Iggy is out. Duffy a 1-2-3 third.
You know, one of the things that I admire about Michael Fulmer, he's a good pitcher, yes, but this guy's a sponge. I mean, he's always wanting to learn. He's talking about his slider. He's talking about his curveball grip. And even on times where he has that towel with him in the dugout in a lengthy inning, he takes that towel and starts to swing it in the dugout just to stay loose. This guy is mature beyond his years and also a really good pitcher.
Well, he really kind of straightened things out in the second. Got a little bit of help on that play from Romine in right field, but still, he threw just 9 second-inning pitches, so that was much better than the first. And Lorenzo Cain leads it off. It'll be Cain, then Hosmer, and then Perez.
And Michael struck out Cain back in the first inning. He struck him out on a slider. Michael's got 2 strikeouts. Both have come on the slider. And he's been throwing a lot of sliders here so far tonight.
I asked Osmus a couple of days ago about Michael Fulmer and the fact that he always continually is trying to improve, never really resting on his laurels. And Brad said, well, after he gave me a snarky answer, then he went on to say, yeah, you're right, he absolutely does stuff like that.
Well, he will give you a snarky answer, that much is for sure.
But Michael, not one of those guys that said, well, I was the rookie of the year. I made the all-star team this year. I've got it on lockdown here. Always looking for the edge to improve. The 1-2 right back up the middle and through his legs, but Kinsler is there. Nice play.
I think Fulmer knows he's good because he's been able to dominate major league hitters, some of the best hitters in the world, for a whole year and a half now. But he's very humble too. You don't hear him talking about himself. That's a nice play here by Ian Kinsler, getting around that ball and throwing off the right foot to get Lorenzo Cain, who can get down the line.
No, you're right. Good example of that is when he's queried about being in the Cy Young conversation. He's always real thankful about being mentioned with some of the other pitchers, the best pitchers in the American League.
He said today when talking to Trevor about the Cy Young, I believe Trevor asked him the question yesterday, but we played it today. He says that's fine to get mentioned in the same breath as guys like Sale and some of the other guys that are in the Cy Young conversation. He says, but really what he strives to do on a daily basis is just be a better person than he was yesterday. I mean, that's real talk there.
It's a pretty good way to live your life. Here's the 1-1. Hammered in the air, right center field, way back. Man, Hosmer has hit that ball a ton and way gone.
Well, I told you earlier, when he gets himself in fastball friendly counts, he's got bad intentions. He really does.
Second of the series and 14th of the year for Eric Hosmer. 5-0 Royals.
And Eric Hosmer really hasn't been pulling the ball all that much this year. I mean, a lot of his damage has been done the opposite way. Is that a changeup? Not quite sure what that was.
Oh, look out. Down he goes. Perez hit by the pitch.
The curveball.
And the crowd does not like it.
No, it's a curveball. He's all right.
Perez hit the deck quickly. And he gets up just as quickly.
We told you that Michael has been tinkering with a curveball. He doesn't throw it very often, and usually when he throws it, it looks just like this. He just does not have a feel for that pitch yet. He does not throw it with the same conviction that he throws his slider and his changeup and his fastball. But the more he throws it, I'm sure it'll be a better pitch for him.
Wasn't it his last start where he threw a couple and they did the exact same thing? They just stayed up?
You're absolutely right. He's only thrown on average 1, maybe 2 in a start. He threw one against Michael Brantley, though. That was a good one on that Sunday night game that the Tigers were a part of a couple of weeks ago. But by and large, it's not a plus pitch for him yet.
Here's Mike Moustakas. Ball 1.
And the pitch to Hosmer was a changeup. It was 88 miles an hour.
Well, Hosmer took a changeup and hit it 444 feet.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Moustakas had a single and knocked in a run in his first at bat. Perez on the move. Here's the throw to second base. Tag safe. Salvador Perez has swiped his first bag of the year.
That might be his first bag of his career. Just kidding, but. And Michael Fulmer, we were talking about Michael Fulmer and the fact that he does not give up stolen bases. Well, he forgot about Salvador Perez, and Perez took off with Miguel playing behind him. And Salvador loves it. And so do his teammates.
Runner at second now with one out. And Moustakas takes low. You wonder as we go on in this ball game, Rod, how much on a night like tonight the 37-pitch first inning took out of Michael.
It took something out of him, and for obvious reasons, the heat being one of those, he's not going to stay around here too long. A lot of his pitches have already been stressful. He's over 100 pitches every time he goes out there. I'm sure Brad will watch him very close tonight.
Here's the 2-1. Popped him up. Shallow center field. Kinsler back. And he'll haul it in for the out. Time for a game break now. We check in with John Keating. All right, John, thanks. Those are two teams that could really mash, man.
Yes, they can.
The Orioles can't pitch all that well, but they can score some runs.
That was Salvador Perez's third career steal. So he's got 3 now.
He's got Fulmer and McCann in his book after that swipe.
Only the second steal against Michael Fulmer this year.
Escobar driving in a run with a ground ball in his first at bat. 5-0 Royals. They've added one more in the Hosmer homer. Escobar is hitting .331 since June 10th, and that has caused his average to head over the 200 mark at .231 as we speak. Ground ball left side deep in the hole. Iggy, great play. He probably saved a run there. It'll be an infield hit for Escobar. First and third now with 2 outs.
And nice play here by Iglesias. Pretty good jump off of second base for Perez. And Mike Jershely, the third base coach, he may have held him up, but then again, you don't know. With a 5-run lead, he may have forced the issue, but it's a nice play by Iglesias.
Yeah, looking back at that, I'm not sure they would have sent Perez, but regardless, nice play by Iglesias. We'll bring up Brandon Moss.
Only the third time this year that Michael Fulmer has given up 5 runs in a game. In 18 starts, this being 19, this is the third time that he's given up 5 runs, and it hasn't happened in a long time.
Moss takes ball 1 high. They will appeal. Did not go. And Michael now has been ball 1 to every hitter in this inning. Five runs on 5 hits for the Royals. No runs, 1 hit, but 3 big errors for the Tigers. Fouled away, 1-1. Fulmer beat the Royals 7-3 back on the 29th at Comerica. That game that he should have had a complete game, but Royals put together a 9th inning uprising.
Yeah, he was pitching a shutout and going into the 9th. 8 2/3 of shutout baseball, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, right. There were 2 out, nobody on when they got that base hit by Torres.
Right. That was a lengthy at bat as well by Torres. I'm kind of surprised he's not playing today.
One and one on Moss. Strike call. So Fulmer up to 64 pitches.
Yeah, Fulmer might want to throw over to first base at least one time just to make sure that Escobar is not entertaining the thought of trying to steal a bag here and get himself into scoring position. Escobar not running nearly as much as he has ran in the past. A lot of sliders today from Fulmer. I don't know if he's taking a page out of Verlander's book from last night or if he just feels like that's the pitch that he's commanding the best today, but he's thrown more sliders today than I can remember in any of his recent starts. Verlander used his slider very effectively last night against this lineup.
Gordon waiting on deck, 1-2 on Moss. Fouled away. There's JV, who certainly pitched well enough to win at the ball game last night. They left the ball game trailing 2-1. The Tigers scored a couple. As you look at the usage on Fulmer now, 30% sliders.
Verlander watched some video of himself in previous outings, not necessarily this year, but back in the day when he was able to get the ball down in the strike zone. And the reason why Justin was able to get the ball down is he was primarily using two pitches at that time. That was the fastball and the slider. And in last night's game, a heavy dose of both of those pitches allowed him to keep the ball down. And he was also able to limit the foul balls against him in last night's game. So it was a really positive outing last night for Verlander.
That splitter being his changeup on that drive. That ball hammered to right field. Romine is on the run, not going to get it up against the wall. This might get 2 more runs in. It will. Escobar rounding third. He will score. It's a double and 2 RBIs for Brandon Moss.
Well, I guess everybody has a rough night, and so far it's a rough one for Michael Fulmer. Tigers going to have to get some activity in their bullpen.
I didn't see this coming.
Oh, absolutely not. Michael Fulmer has been stellar all season, but you have to give Kansas City a lot of credit. And they've taken advantage of the Tigers' mistakes, and they've also taken advantage of the wildness here today of Michael Fulmer leaving some balls up in the strike zone.
He had not given up more than 5 runs in any start this year, but a 7 spot. Although 3 of the 4 runs in the first were unearned. Here's Gordon. Swing and a miss. There's action in the bullpen. That is Chad Bell. Seven runs on 6 Royals hits. 0-2 now on Gordon.
And back-to-back outstanding changeups there thrown to Alex Gordon to get ahead of him.
It is so hot they are fanning themselves here tonight. And Gordon shoots one to left center field. That's going to get down, get another run in. It'll go to the wall. Gordon is on his way to second. He will stop there with a double as Moss scores 8-0 KC.
Michael Fulmer able to get ahead of him. No balls and 2 strikes. And he comes back with another changeup after throwing him 2 changeups on the previous 2 pitches. And you can see him starting to grip the changeup. He had gotten ahead of him with 0-2, and he comes back with another changeup. So he throws him 3 straight changeups, the last of which apparently Gordon in the back of his mind looking for, and he flips it the opposite way for a double and another RBI.
It's going to be it. And Brad will take him out after 70 pitches here, allowing a total of 8 runs.
Yeah, Michael clearly does not have it here tonight, and Brad did not want him hurting himself by overthrowing this evening.
So Fulmer gives up the baseball. Chad Bell will come in from the bullpen. It's a wall-side windows pitching change. We'll be back to KC. Bottom of the third with 2 outs, a pitching change for the Tigers, and Michael Fulmer is done for the evening here. A short night for Michael, and raise your hand if you thought this might happen tonight.
Yeah, this is the shortest outing of Michael Fulmer's very young career. 8 runs, 5 of those earned. He walked 1 and 2 strikeouts tonight against the Kansas City Royals.
So Chad Bell will come in out of the bullpen now, face Whit Merrifield. Second time tonight the Royals have sent 8 men to the plate. It's in there, a strike called on Merrifield.
And Merrifield batting for the 3rd time in the 3rd inning.
12 games this year for Bell. Seven Royals hits in this game. The 0-1. This pretty much has been Chad Bell's role to come in when the starting pitcher just doesn't have it. And on several occasions this year, he has given his team a chance to come back, score some runs, get back in the game. He'll have to do it again tonight. Close.
And with this weather being the weather that it is, and most of the Tigers starters having played all 3 of these games in a couple of innings, if the score stays the same and Duffy is still on the mound, Brad will get some of his regulars off their feet and prepare for Minnesota. There are certain guys that you think you could score 8 runs against, and then there are certain guys where it's not very likely, and Danny Duffy is one of those guys. But then again, you could say it wasn't very likely to score 8 runs against Michael Fulmer, too.
True. Here's the 3-1. Fouled away 3-2.
This guy just gets really good cuts, man, whether it's fastballs, breaking balls. Whit Merrifield is a pretty good player and having a really good season against Detroit pitching this year. Batting .333 with an OPS over 1,000.
Royals tonight are 5 for 9 with men in scoring position. The 3-2 popped up. Shallow right field. Romine coming in, and that finally will end the inning. 4 runs on 4 hits for KC. They send 8 men to the plate and lead now 8-0.
When you face a guy that much, he's making adjustments, I'm making adjustments. It's really just execution, you know, and who can execute the best. That's what it comes down to with a guy like that. You know, he knows what he wants to do to get you out, and I kind of know what I want to do to be successful off him. And whoever can execute that plan the best is going to be successful. And you know, he makes it difficult on you every time.
Ian Kinsler on Danny Duffy, who he will face here in the 4th inning. Duffy got him to fly out to start the game in the very first pitch. 7 for 30 career, only a .233 average, but a couple of homers for Kinsler.
And Duffy and Kinsler also got a chance to know each other in the World Baseball Classic this spring. They were teammates for the USA.
Off-speed pitch, drops in for a strike, 1-1. Duffy faced the minimum through 3. He gave up a double, but picked Matuk off second base. Royals got 4 in the first and 4 in the third. Here's the 2-1. Popped him up in the air, right field. It's going to be Bonifacio. 1 gone. Trev, you had a chance to talk to Kinsler about Mr. Duffy.
Yeah, and he said he's really nasty with that high fastball up in the zone coming from the left side. It's hard to pick up and it's hard to lay off, but he also mentioned a nasty curve. And Duffy, just one of the 5 toughest that Kinsler says he has to face in his Player Tribune article. He also included Kelvin Herrera, so 2 guys on this Royal staff a part of that, along with Andrew Miller, Corey Kluber, and Jose Quintana rounding up the top 5 that Kinsler said are the toughest for him to face in the AL Central. Some pretty good names on that list.
Hey, they're the toughest for a lot of guys.
Yeah, they're on a lot of lists to be sure. Castellanos fly to right field. Well, Duffy, we mentioned, wanted to remain a Royal. He signed a team-friendly contract, 5-year deal in January to stay here in KC, and this is the organization he grew up in.
He's comfortable pitching in Kansas City.
I think part of the reason he wanted to stay here in KC is the fact that early on in his career back in 2010, he decided to leave the game of baseball, kind of to get his head straight, clear his head. He wasn't sure he wanted to be a professional baseball player. And the Royals said, whenever you want to come back, we'll be waiting for you. And he did soon thereafter, and now he's one of the best in the American League.
He's also developed a really nice bond with the pitching coach, Dave Island. We told you that he was pitching out of the bullpen at the beginning of last season. That would be Duffy. And what Island told him is just go out and throw every single pitch with conviction. Don't worry about saving anything. Just go out there and reestablish your fastball. Duffy went to the bullpen, reestablished that fastball in the mid-90s, and he hasn't looked back since getting back into the rotation. And this delivery has also simplified the fact that he throws a lot more strikes these days.
High fly to center field, Kane his position, and he'll make the play.
Remember the first few times that we had a chance to see Duffy earlier in his career? I mean, he was so erratic. I mean, he was wild.
Walking a lot of guys.
Walking a lot of guys. He'd get hit around because he would always try to bully you with a fastball and a fastball count, and you just can't do that up here. But once he learned that new delivery and started to change speeds, he's become a really good pitcher. And Dave Island is an outstanding pitching coach. He also had a stint with the Yankees, right?
He did. So with 2 outs now, here is Upton. Changeup floats in for a strike, 0-1.
Duffy has a really good changeup. We pointed that out earlier today. His changeup holds mostly right-handed batters to about a 150 batting average.
You were talking about Duffy and walking a lot of guys. Early in his career, his walks per 9 was nearly 6.
Oh my goodness.
Back in 2012.
He has really improved. He's down to like 2 now per 9 innings.
1 ball, 1 strike on Jay Up. He struck out in the first. In there, a strike called.
That's a well located fastball. It's only 90 miles an hour, but it's located on the black inside, and a very difficult pitch for Jay Up to get to. Salvador going right back in there.
Two and two. I think a lot of the Royals chances here in the second half will hinge on how well they get Duffy to pitch and Vargas continues to pitch. They have had a couple of clunkers in this series against the Tigers. The 2-2 is pulled to third right off the glove of Moustakas into left. Sizzling ground ball for a 2-out single. Hey fans, time is running out to get tickets for only $7.20 to see the Tigers play the Royals and Astros next week. Offer expires at midnight tonight, so if you'd like to order, go to tigers.com/tickets. Use the coupon code 7 and score yourself some tickets for $7.20. 2-out chance now for Miguel Cabrera. That Astros team coming to town, we all know about them. They have played some really good baseball this year. Fouled back out of play, 0-1.
And we will not see Carlos Correa, their all-star and very talented shortstop. He will miss about 7 to 8 weeks of action with a bad thumb.
They're hoping to get him back by September, which would give him enough time to get back into playing form.
He initially hurt the thumb on a headfirst slide. For the life of me, man, I cannot. Guys like Trout, Chris Bryant of the Cubs left the game the other day with a headfirst slide. These guys that are so valuable to their teams, I just don't know why they slide headfirst all the time. You're opening yourself up for injury.
The 1-1. 2-1 now on Cabrera. I know Trout said when he injured his hand and thumb and went on the disabled list that I'm not going to change the way I do things. It's just the way I feel more comfortable. I feel like I'm in more control around the bag at second, or pick your bag, sliding head first.
Well, if I'm Mike Scioscia.
That's in the air to shallow center field for Lorenzo Cain, and Miggy is out.
I get the old sliding pads out, sliding pants, and Mike Trout will be out there sliding feet first.
And running sprints.
He'd be learning how to slide feet first.
Unlimited baseball break brought to you by T-Mobile. The Chicago Cubs, look out, here they come. They have a 6-game winning streak since the All-Star break.
Yeah, they've been performing very well, and they've already made a trade for a quality starter in Jose Quintana.
What do you got on the Dodgers?
Are they ever going to lose again?
31-4 in their last 35 games.
Look at the run differential, dude. Plus 100 in the run differential. Best 35-game stretch in their history.
Jacob deGrom pitching well for the Mets. So here is Bell back out there. It came on to get the final out in the third when the Royals scored 4 more runs. They lead 8-0.
That's one of the few things going right for the Metropolitans this year.
Yeah, good point. In there, a strike called, 0-2. stretch the Dodgers are in right now is kind of the pace that you guys set back in '84.
Yeah, that was a crazy pace. It really was. I mean, every single day. And I can remember like it was yesterday. And when you walked off the bus, you just knew you had a better team than the other team in the other dugout, and you knew you were going to win the game.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm serious. I mean, I didn't play every day, but I could just tell the way the guys were walking around, whether it be Gibby, whether it be Parrish or Whitaker or Tran or Lemon or any of the guys that were playing just about every single day. These guys were legit, and they had an outstanding manager. Sparky was one of the best in the sport.
0-2 on Bonifacio, getting started here in the 4th inning. Bonifacio single on a pop-up. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. One gone here in the 4th. Tigers fans, if you can't catch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. Download the app, take Fox Sports Detroit and Tigers baseball with you wherever you go. One away for Kane. In that 35-5 start, what was the mood like? I mean, did you guys look at the numbers every day and say, wow, look at what we're doing, or did you just go out and do your business?
They went out and did their business, and Sparky would not settle for anything other than that. I mean, it was very workmanlike. It's typical Detroit. Blue collar. I mean, guys came to the ballpark every single day, and something Sparky did with all the extra players every single day. At the end of batting practice, Sparky would take all the extra guys. It could be Chet Lemon that day. It could be Kurt Gibson. It didn't matter who it was. And he would go out to center field, and he would make us run 10 sprints from the foul line to center field every single day, just to make sure that the guys that weren't playing every day were still getting their running in. And he would sit there and watch us do it.
You couldn't cheat, could you?
Yeah, I was running a lot.
Yeah, but you were running on a big league field, so
you got that right, man. It was the best feeling in the world.
Kane, the batter, and the count 2-1. Well, the Tigers went on to beat these Royals 3 straight in the playoffs that year. In fact, they won the first 2 here in KC back in '84, and then finished it off at home at Tiger Stadium.
The Royals had some great teams back then, too.
3 balls, 1 strike. Hosmer on deck. Swing and a miss. 3-2 on Kane, who is now 3 for his last 24. Drilled to center field on a line, straight at Matuk.
Hey, Hosmer up in the 3rd inning got a changeup at about 85 miles an hour from Michael Fulmer, who didn't have it today. And he hit it 444 feet from home plate. Splash down out in right center field. He killed it.
Was not a cheapie.
Eric is a free agent after the season is over, and somebody's going to get themselves a really good player next year. A first baseman right in the prime of his career that's a Gold Glove defender and has plenty of power. And he got a lot of swagger too. He's good and he knows he's good.
Royals farm system producing some guys that are really key to their World Series runs. They were in the World Series in 14 and 1 in 15. Hosmer, one of them, Moustakas coming up through the system. Castellanos trying to get there, but it's out of play.
Not only did they win at the major league level, but these guys also won when they're in the minor leagues together. Moustakas looking at the scouting report down there with the hitting coach, Dale Swain. I wonder if they use the tablet like the Tigers do when looking at a pitcher that they don't quite know.
I would imagine most teams do.
High tech now?
Yeah. Fall behind if you don't. Brad was talking about those tablets the other day. I mean, you can pull up the pitcher.
Yep.
You can just watch video of the pitcher.
Exactly.
I mean, it used to be, it was written down, what, okay, this guy throws this, this, and this.
That's exactly what he's doing right now. He is watching some video of Bell in some of his previous outings, and he's probably watching his at-bats against left-handers. I mean, it's that dialed in to where you could hit something on that tablet, and you can pull up just all left-handed batters that Bell has gone up against, which kind of eliminates, you know what I mean, the right-handed batters, you know what I mean, for your left-handed hitter.
Right. Would you have wanted something like that when you played?
I don't know, Mario. I mean, I really don't know.
Because I've asked a few players that, and I've gotten that same response from some of them.
You know what I used to like, though? I didn't mind, though, when I had a base runner on second base and he could give me location. No, I had no problem with that. I used to like that, as a matter of fact. So I probably would have used it to my advantage. I mean, because it's to your advantage to look at it.
We'll count 3-2 with Perez on deck. Royals on top 8-0 here in the series finale, looking for the split with the Tigers. Swing and a miss, and Bell finishes off Hosmer for a 1-2-3 inning. It's his second strikeout. For the Tigers, it'll be Mikey Matuk to lead things off in the fifth. Sports Detroit is brought to you by the Sam Bernstein Law Firm, official legal services sponsor of Fox Sports Detroit. Bell Tire, for tires and auto service. Everybody needs a Bell Tire guy. And go for thrilling drives and deals at the Chevy Summer Drive. Chevrolet, find new roads. Back here on a very warm night in Kansas City, 100 degrees in KC today. And Mikey Matuk leads it off, fouls it back out of play, 0-1.
And Duffy has only thrown 44 pitches. So, I mean, no stress at all. Was that 11 pitches per inning?
Yeah, 44 through 4.
I mean, really?
I mean, you try and limit it to 15.
He's averaging 11 pitches per inning.
He had a 6-pitch first and 8-pitch third. That's on the outside corner. A strike call, now 0-2.
That's a nice little breaking ball that he's able to start off the plate about 3 inches, and the natural break on his breaking ball allows that ball to get to the corner. And with a nice presentation with the glove by Salvador Perez.
Swing and a miss, and he got him on the changeup. 1 away. 4 strikeouts now. Time for the Bernstein advantage. Victor Martinez comes strolling in against Duffy, and he's batting a .333 clip against him.
With some extra base damage. And 3 homers and 6 RBIs.
Fly ball to right field in the first at bat for Victor. I was reading a pretty cool story on Danny Duffy. When Yordano Ventura passed away, one of the first things he did was to gather as much Yordano Ventura memorabilia that he could find. He would go on the internet and buy up bobbleheads and all kinds of stuff concerning Yordano Ventura.
Right.
And then he put it all together and sent the package to Yordano's mother. And he wanted her to make it easy for her to remember the good times for her son, which I thought was really cool.
That is special. Special.
Ventura passed away this past offseason in an automobile accident in the Dominican.
I believe the entire Kansas City Royals traveling party traveled to the Dominican Republic to go to his funeral.
Wow.
There was a lot of the guys. I don't know if it was in the entire party, but I know Dayton Moore, their general manager. I know I saw Eric Hosmer and several other guys go to Yordano's funeral. They honor him by wearing Ace on their sleeve. He was so young, man.
He was. Ultra talented.
Oh, for sure.
There's a bouncer up the middle. It's going to find a hole, and Victor has a 1-out single. Well, you want to bring your little leaguer close to the game? Well, now you can with membership to the Tigers Kids Club. Each Kids Club member receives a jersey, lunch cooler, baseball cap, school supply kit, lanyard, passport, and so much more. If you'd like additional information or to order, go to tigers.com/kidsclub. But hurry while supplies last.
Now that looks like a pretty cool club to be a part of.
I don't think they would let you or I in, would they?
You never know. You've got friends in high places.
I do. I'll make some phone calls for us. Here's McCann. Line to center field, and Kane will play it on a couple of hops. Back-to-back singles now for the Tigers here in the 5th. So McCann is 1 for 2. That'll bring up Romine. 4 Tigers hits in this game now. Romine bounced out in his first at bat. Strike 1 on Andrew. Joined us a little late tonight. Romine starting in right field, his first ever start in right field. Now he's played there as a defensive replacement. But the Tigers have some left-handed batting outfielders, Presley and Ducey, so they wanted Romine's right-handed bat in there. He's played everywhere in the diamond. Slice to the first baseman Hosmer. He fires to second. 1. No relay. Nobody covering first base. Duffy did not get there, and that'll leave runners at first and third. 2 gone.
Ball hit sharply to the right side of the diamond. As a pitcher, you know you've got one thing to do, and that's get over there. He hesitated. And because he hesitated, he was not going to beat Andrew Romine to the bag. I thought maybe Hosmer, though, because that ball was hit so hard at him. Had he thrown that ball, as he did, I thought maybe he could have got back to the bag had he chosen to do so. But he was banking on the pitcher doing his job and getting there.
Now Iglesias. 0-1 on Iggy, who grounded out his first time up.
Iggy's bat has slowed down considerably in the last couple of weeks, but he has good numbers this year against Kansas City Royals pitching.
Straighten him up. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Duffy not throwing as hard here tonight as he did last year. His fastball last year, 95, 97. I don't think he's been up to 95 here this evening. There you have it.
94 is his high water mark. 1-1. That's going to get into right field and a base hit. Score a run as Martinez comes in, and Iglesias with a 2-out RBI single. 8-1 ball game.
And fastball upstairs, fought off by Iglesias.
'28th RBI of the year for Iglesias. That'll bring up the top of the lineup now. It's Ian Kinsler. Tigers now have 5 hits. Fouled back out of play. Kinsler's been very aggressive early in the count against Duffy. Flied out in the first pitch back in the first inning to start the game. 0-1 the count.
Well, Ian told us that Duffy, one of the tougher pitchers that he has to go up against in baseball. So therefore, Ian swinging early and swinging often. He doesn't want Duffy to get ahead of him.
Strike call, now 0-2.
Duffy has done a really nice job with that breaking ball here tonight, starting it off the plate and catching the outside corner with it.
Line drive to right center, and that ball will get down. It's going to score 1 and maybe 2. Here comes Iglesias rounding third. He'll come in to score. It's an 0-2 double for Kinsler to make it 8-3.
All this done with 2 outs as well. Another base hit on a fastball upstairs, one by Iglesias and also one by Kinsler. This ball doesn't get all the way to the warning track, but by the time it's picked up, Iglesias running very hard from first base made it very easy for Dave Clark, the third base coach, to continue to send him home with the 3rd run of the inning for the Tigers.
Tigers chipping away, back to within 5 now. That'll bring up Castellanos. A couple of fly balls for Nick, one to center, one to right.
And Duffy knows that Castellanos in these situations loves to feast on first pitch fastballs. He might throw him something off speed to start him off with.
And Castellanos hits it in the air. Right fielder Bonifacio, and that will end the inning. Tigers get 3 back though. 8-3 ball game. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire.
the mound working in his third inning here tonight. I asked him a couple of days ago about pitching in the heat down here. He said he was used to it. When he came up in the minors, he was pitching in Texas. The heat really didn't bother him, but down in that bullpen, temperatures were said to reach like 115, 120 degrees. That's where he said it was hot. But being on the mound, he didn't think it was going to be a problem with him. He'd change jerseys if he needed to and do whatever he needed to do to stay fresh. He's been doing a great job here tonight, Mario and Rod.
Yeah, Trev, you find a way to be sure. Michael Fulmer was saying the same thing. Of course, Fulmer was knocked out of the game early in this one. Bellows had to come on and try and pick up the pieces.
I wonder why they haven't changed the AstroTurf to regular grass in the bullpens, because it does get so hot out there.
I don't know. Maybe a little harder to maintain it out there. I don't know. It's a good question.
Tigers have grass in their bullpen, right?
Do they?
Yeah, don't they?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I believe so. It's grass.
Well, that shoots my theory down then. They're warming up out there in the bullpen for the Royals. 1 ball, 1 strike on Salvador Perez.
I think so. I might be wrong. You call Heather Nabosny and see. You think I won't, don't you?
You're pulling out your phone right now.
I'll call her and find out.
H.
Maybe she's listening. She
Heather.
can just text me and let me know.
93 right now here at the ballpark. The heat index was well over 100 at the start of the game. The 1-2 is low. Did he go? Negative. Perez, Moustakas, Escobar. Well, I do know this. When they had turf on the field here, it was ridiculously hot. Swing and a miss, and Perez is out, 1 gone. Tell you what, man, Chad Bell does this, or has done this several times this year. He's done a really good job of just stemming the tide.
And that's key. And you're down by 8. And now you're down by 3 because he has come in and shut the door down the last couple of innings. He needs to continue to do that a couple of more innings and see if the Tigers can somehow push another few runs across the board against Danny Duffy.
We're at Kauffman Stadium in KC tonight. Mario Rod, Trevor Thompson, bringing you our telecast tonight, along with Chris Wazalewski, our producer. Michael Odino, the Big O, is our director tonight. Those guys are in a nice air-conditioned truck. So is the entire crew down there.
So they're chilling.
They're chilling, all right. We shouldn't complain. Trevor's out there in the elements, actually.
Yes, he is.
The 1-0. Moustakas takes low. 2-0. Trevor, how you doing down there?
Surviving is the word I'd use right now. I've survived the last 3 nights here. This was by far the hottest day. But now that the sun's gone down, there's a little breeze blowing. It's not too bad down here, but definitely a little warmer than it is back home.
I have good news for you. The weather in Minneapolis is supposed to be much more temperate, in the 80s. So you'll be okay there.
But I've rather enjoyed wearing these golf shirts the last few days. I might take a couple of degrees hotter to escape that tie and jacket.
We get 3 good days in mini weather-wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And facing a Minnesota team that's playing some pretty good baseball.
They gotten better at home? Because I know they were really good on the road. And they were having a tough time winning games at home. Yeah, Minnesota 22-29 at the crib, and on the road they're 26-17.
They are in the process of trying to acquire Jaime Garcia. That's the word from the Atlanta Braves to bolster their rotation.
And they have just beaten the New York Yankees 2 of 3. So they won that series, which concluded yesterday afternoon. So they're off today.
3-2 on Moustakas, who has an RBI single in 2 at-bats. 8-3. Royals have the lead. We're in the bottom of the 5th. In the air to shallow center field. Matuk on the charge. It's going to drop.
That is the second fluke hit tonight for Moose.
One on, one out.
And Montuck showing a little frustration, but he can't get there. He can't make that play. You have to respect the power of Moustakas. He has 25 homers.
Escobar with a single and an RBI tonight. Royals now have 8 hits. Strike one on Escobar.
The Royals swing early and swing often. I told you earlier that they see just over 3 pitches per plate appearance as a team, which is the fewest in the majors.
The 0-1 pitch. Sliced foul down the right field line. Is that a praying mantis on that kid's hat?
I'm not quite sure what it was. I know he had a Kansas City Monarchs jersey on. I do know that.
Didn't they have like a was it a grasshopper or a praying mantis last year? They had it in a cage. Became their good luck charm. Oh, 0-2 on Escobar. Ground ball to short. It's going to get through Iggy. Quick throw. Nice play. I feel like Nick might cut that ball off, but Iglesias with a nice running scoop.
I think there was a communication there in between Iglesias and Castellanos, and I believe Iglesias basically called him off, and that's why he peeled off. Easier play for Iglesias. You saw Nicholas stop. They made the right choice.
Soft hands of Iglesias, just scooping up that baseball. Brandon Moss had a 2-run double in his last at bat. That'll sail inside. 1-0.
Moss had a nice night last night. Homer, double. Drove in a couple.
His average was under 200 coming into the series, but boy, the last 2 nights he's been key.
He ambushed Justin Wilson last night in the 9th. First pitch fastball whistled off the bottom of the gate in right center field to tie the score.
You know, oftentimes it becomes a cliche, but when you say the walks always come around to score, it did last night. The 1-out 4-pitch walk to Escobar.
But not only that, partner, that was only his 9th walk in over 350 at bats.
Wow.
So it's hard to walk him.
That'll stay high. 2-1. Off speed pitch there from Bell. Royals got 4 in the first, 4 in the third. Tigers answer with 3 in the 5th. Now the 2-1. Popped him up into left field, gaining some steam, and out there to make the catch is Upton to retire the side.
day here today. Actually, that's not Duffy there. That was Justin Wilson last night giving up that double to Moss, and then Moss coming home to score on the sacrifice fly to center field. So we were talking about that last half inning. That was the walk-off in last night's contest.
And a tough ball game for the Tigers to lose when you consider they got the huge home run from Mikey Matuk. A lot of energy in the Tiger dugout, and then the Royals snatched it from them. Here is Upton to lead things off. Jay Upton, Cabrera, then Matuk as we go to the 6th, 8-3 in favor of KC as we wrap up this 4-game set.
And Tigers were able to score 3 runs against Duffy in the 5th, and they hadn't been able to do anything against him.
Ball 1 to Upton, a single and a strikeout in this game. One of the 6 Tigers hits in this contest. Ooh, out in front.
He has thrown that breaking ball and that changeup fearlessly to the right-handers today. This guy has really turned his career around from when he first came to the big leagues, and really all he did was he started pitching, started throwing some breaking balls in fastball counts, change-ups in fastball counts. That'll get guys off your fastball.
He joined the rotation in mid-May last year and ended up the season at 12-3, establishing career highs in wins and starts.
He was one of the best pitchers in the American League Central last year. He was dominant at times.
Here's the 1-2. Little low. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I know Jay Up is smart enough as we get a chance to look at the pitch usage of Duffy tonight. Fastball 56%, a lot of sliders, a lot of changeups, not many curveballs. The exact same scouting report that we kind of gave you at the beginning of the game. We knew what he would do.
Upton came in batting .323 versus left-handed pitching this year.
Tigers as a team have some really good numbers overall against left-handers in the slugging department, in the OPS department. They've also hit a lot of homers against lefties.
As a matter of fact, Upton has hit 2 homers against Duffy in his career. Now the 2-2. That ball hit in the air toward right center field. That ball is hit well, and it's going to go up against the wall. Going to be a double for Justin Upton, and the Tigers start the 6th off with a 2-bagger.
Jay Up does not usually hit balls in that direction with that kind of backspin. That was an absolute seed off of Jay Up's bat, his 25th double of the year. It's a changeup, I believe, at the top of the strike zone, but look at the concentration here by Jay Up. Head down, great balance, and that real short finish at the top. He killed that.
His 2nd hit. Tigers trying to continue to chip away here as Cabrera stands in 0 for 2.
That last pitch, 81 miles an hour. So, and Duffy becoming a little changeup happy here as we get into the 5th and 6th inning.
Cabrera looks that one right down the middle. Miguel 282 this year with men in scoring position. Strikeout, fly out in this game. In there, a strike call, and now the count is 0-2. He thought it was a little bit high. Ground ball up the middle and into center field. Base hit. Upton rounding 3rd. He will score. Cabrera, an 0-2 single to center, and the Tigers are back to within 4.
Let's take a look at our Bell Tire pitch by pitch. We told you Duffy got off to a really nice start at the beginning of the game. Only 6 pitches in the very first frame, 8 in the third frame. Had the Tigers' number first time through the batting order. But then in the 5th inning, the Tigers were starting to string together some hits, and they were able to score a few runs against him. And that's continued here into the 6th inning. Tigers are now trailing by 4. Base hits by Iglesias, base hits by Kinsler. That double by Upton and the base hit by Miguel Cabrera.
Fulmer went 2 2/3, allowing 8 runs, but now the Tigers coming back against Duffy here, who is staked to an 8-0 lead. Mikey Mott took a double and a strikeout in the game.
Duffy got ahead of Miguel Cabrera with 2 fastballs, then tried to come back with another fastball, and Miguel was able to sneak one right through the middle.
Duffy has given up 2 0-2 hits to drive in runs in this game. The other was to Kinsler.
He hasn't had a good mix. I mean, when he was pitching with an 8-run lead, he just wasn't mixing in all of his pitches. He kind of got happy with just a couple of pitches, and that allowed the Tigers to get back in this game.
1 ball, 1 strike. Royals with some activity in the bullpen now. Mike Minor warming up for them. Matuk fouls it back out of play. 1-2. Here is the Tigers box tonight. And all of a sudden they have 8 hits, as many as the Royals do in this game. Bouncing in, Perez smothers it. 2-2 on Mikey. Another off-speed pitch there from Duffy. Tigers got 3 in the 5th and now 1 more here in the 6th. Vimard waiting on deck. Popped up foul back out of play. Tigers, despite the loss last night, have still won 5 of the last 7 versus KC. And trying to mount a huge comeback tonight. They're down by 4 runs. Line drive to center, base hit. Cabrera goes to second base. He will stop there, and Matuk with a single. 3 straight hits for the Tigers. And the second of the night for Mikey. It's going to be it. Duffy's not going to get a win here.
Ooh.
Or at least eligible for a win.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, it's the 6th. You're right. And that's going to be it, though. Duffy will depart the scene here in the 6th after 3 hits. Now he's going to have to hope the bullpen can hang on. It's a Walsall Windows pitching change.
It's not the same bullpen they've had in the past, so Tigers are in business.
After falling behind 8-0 tonight, the Tigers clawing back here. They have a run in, 2 men on, nobody out, and the new pitcher is Mike Minor.
And Minor, for the most part, fastball gets up to about 94 miles an hour. Every now and then he'll touch 95. He throws a lot of sliders. About 40% of the time he'll mix in some changeups. He also has a curveball, but he does not throw the curveball. 8 of the 19 inherited runners this year for Minor have scored. That's not a very good ratio for him.
He will face Victor Martinez here with a single and a fly ball in this game.
And told you earlier that the Royals outfielders like to play awfully shallow, and the way the ball's been flying this entire series, it would not be that hard for Victor to get a hold of one and hit it over one of these guys' heads in the outfield. Not at all.
Swing and a miss, 0-1. You got Cabrera at second. You've got Matuk at first. Victor's had 6 hits in the series. One
of those games, partner, where the pitching matchup did not quite live up to the hype. I mean, you had Michael Fulmer, an all-star, out there today, his shortest outing of his major league career, 2 2/3, and you had Duffy. He pitched for the USA in the World Baseball Classic this year, and he didn't have his best stuff tonight either. That's why you play the games.
Now 1-2 on Victor. Well, Fulmer gave up 4 in the first, 3 errors in that inning, and a couple of bloop hits aided the Royals, but then they pounded out 4 more runs in the third as well. Ned Yost watching an 8-0 lead to dissipate now.
And he also understands he does not have the same bullpen that he had when they were in those World Series runs.
Here's the 1-2. Victor takes outside. 95 from Minor. 4th best ERA since May 1st in the American League, 1.89. Into right field, coming over Bonifacio.
Tag up.
Miggy tags at second base. He'll run to third, and he'll move up. So Martinez is out on the fly ball to right. First and third now, 1 out for McCann. One for 2, a single in the 5th inning. McCann up to 211 now. And he'll look at a strike, 0-1.
McCann 5 of 10 in these type of situations. Runner on third, less than 2 outs. And that would be 50%, which is exactly league average.
Minor began his career with Atlanta back in 2010. It's the only other team he has played with in the major leagues.
And Dayton Moore. And before he came to Kansas City, worked for the Atlanta Braves. So he's had a really nice relationship with a lot of the former Atlanta Braves players, and a lot of them have played here for Dayton Moore, the general manager of the Kansas City Royals.
Minor missed all of 2015 with a torn labrum. Returned back to action last year, but did not pitch in the majors. Now McCann will step up.
If you're McCann, you have to spread out, you have to choke up, you have to do whatever it is that you can do to make sure that you get something that you could lift in the air deep enough to the outfield to score Miggy. really concentrate on getting something up in the strike zone.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out top of the zone, and he chased. 2 away.
Man, just about every pitch thrown to McCann in that sequence was at the bottom of the strike zone, and then they changed his eye level. And by going upstairs, and that ball looked awfully inviting to James, and he swung right through it.
So here is Romine now, who reached on a fielder's choice and scored back in the 5th. RBI single by Cabrera in the inning makes it 8-4. The Royals 8 runs, 8 hits. Tigers now actually have 9 hits, 1 more than the Royals do. They trail 8-4. And Romine looks at ball 1 high. Got to give the Tigers a little credit here tonight. For as hot as it is, they fell behind 8-0 early. They did not mail this one in. Swing and a miss.
And going up against a pretty good pitcher in Duffy.
No doubt. One ball, 1 strike. Ground ball to third. Moustakas has it. And that'll be it for the Tigers. However, they inch a little bit closer. 1 more run for the Tigers. Chipping away. An 8-0 lead has turned into an 8-4 lead for the Royals. Bottom of the 6th inning here in KC, and here are the upcoming probables brought to you by Wallside Windows. And you've got Minnesota coming up, 3-game series. Here are the matchups.
Yeah, Santana, Gibson, Mejia, and they will go up against Sanchez, Zimmerman, and Boyd.
Chad Bell goes back to work, and he will face the number 9 hitter. Alex Gordon leads it off. He doubled in a run in the 3rd. Gordon, Merrifield, and then Bonifacio. Gordon also hit that ball to right field that Romine made the sprawling play on. Otherwise, he could have a couple of doubles. He's perked up a little bit in the series. Knocked in 2. Now the 1-1. Did he go? Yes. So says Vic Carapazza. 1-2 on Gordon. Royals 8 runs, 8 hits, and the Tigers 4 runs, 9 hits. I think Gordon sticks trying to keep him cool.
Is that what they're doing?
That or trying to get him to get a base hit here.
I think it's the latter.
2-2.
Been a rough year for Alex. Fans here in Kansas City love him, though.
Blow it away. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Gordon. Merrifield waiting on deck. Swing and a miss. And Gordon down on strikes, 1 gone.
And get you caught up with the game summary if you tuned in late. Tigers did not play good defense in the very first inning, and all 3 of these miscues are mental mistakes as far as I'm concerned. Castellanos drops down to an arm angle he doesn't use very often. Not good concentration here by Iglesias nor Montook. And then you have Eric Hosmer, which allowed them to get off to an 8-0 lead. But then the Tigers started to chip away. Base hit by McCann, double by Upton, base hit by Iggy. Miggy drove in 1, Montook also getting off. So Tigers able to cut that lead in half.
Meanwhile, changeup missing away to Merrifield, who is 0 for 3, reaching on an error and scoring in the first.
Merrifield hit 3 times in the first 3 innings today. That's the kind of day it started for Detroit.
Well, it was billed as a tremendous pitching matchup tonight, and that's why baseball can be a strange game sometimes.
Yeah, Michael Fulmer lasted just 2 2/3. That's the shortest outing of his major league career.
Merrifield launches one in the air to left field. Upton going back. He's going to the wall, and it's going to go. It's out of here. Whit Merrifield has just homered, his 8th of the year.
Merrifield had his 8-game extra base streak snapped in last night's game, but he starts another one here.
That is the 2nd home run of the night for the Royals. Number 8 for Merrifield. 9-4 ball game. Whit's got a little pop. Here's Bonifacio. Big swing, 0-1. First run allowed by Bell, who came on to clean it up in the 3rd through a scoreless 4th, a scoreless 5th. But Merrifield gets him here in the 6th. Each ball club now with 9 hits. You talked about Merrifield being one of their more consistent players. You know, Jackie Bradley Jr., who played with him at South Carolina,
right?
He said he can do a little bit of everything when he was in college. And he knew he would be a good professional. Didn't know that he'd play in the big leagues and to make an impact, but he has. And so is Jackie.
We were talking about Whit Merrifield when the Royals were in our ballpark as Bonifacio singles again for his 2nd knock of the evening. We were talking about Merrifield and the fact that when he went to college, he was a center fielder, but then Bradley shows up. So then the remainder of the 2 years he spent at South Carolina, he played right field, left field, infield. And then when he got into the Royals organization a couple of years ago in AAA, he played every single position on the diamond during the course of the year. They envisioned him being like a utility player, but he's taken over the second base job.
Yeah, and that's, I guess, what Bradley meant. He said he could do a little of everything. When I took over the job in center field, I mean, that did not deter him at all. We've seen Merrifield play second and the outfield in this series. Here's Lorenzo Cain.
And we know Whit could hit.
Little looper into right field. That ball's going to drop as well. Another bloop hit for the Royals.
They've gotten a ton of bloop singles today.
Bonifacio goes to 3rd. That'll bring up Hosmer. And if you're Lorenzo Cain, you'll take it. He's been scuffling offensively. Hosmer, a homer in the third, a walk and a run scored his first time up. Hosmer fanned in his last at bat, and that was against Bell. That was in the fourth. Ball one inside. More action now. Daniel Stumpf, the left-hander, tuning up. .11 Royals hits.
You know, I've made mention of the fact that the Kansas City Royals outfield trio plays awfully shallow here. Maybe they're on to something here, partner. Tigers outfielders playing a lot deeper.
Runner goes, then it's fouled back.
And we've already watched a lot of bloop singles in the series already. So I'm wondering if the reason why the Royals outfielders play shallow is because they know the ball's flying here during the summer. And if they hit it, they're going to hit it out of the ballpark anyway if it goes over your head.
That's a good point. Because clearly they play much shallower.
Well, you can see where the Royals, by looking at the grass in the outfield, you can kind of see that it's worn out in front of where the Tigers defenders are playing. So they're playing at least 6, 7, 8 feet deeper than the Royals defenders.
It's a good observation, Ron, because we have seen literally everything that has been hit in the air with some authority has carried out in the series.
Right.
Here are the dimensions of Kauffman Stadium.
So they figure we'll take away the bloop singles. And if they hit it over the heads, I mean, obviously they've had to go get it, but they like to take away those singles.
Meanwhile, Cain, who was on the move a couple of pitches ago, is
Cain has 15 steals this year. He hasn't been caught yet, but you say he has a streak that goes back a little further than that, right? About
19.
19?
19 for 19, dating back to last year. Hosmer waits on the 1-1. Inside, 2 balls, 1 strike.
Left-handers don't bother Hosmer at all. He hits right-handers, he hits left-handers, and he hits both of them for power. And if he gets a fastball right here, he'll get a really good swing against it. Chad Bell.
Moylan warming up in the bullpen for KC.
We have seen him every game.
We have. Probably going to see him again, it appears. Hosmer slicing one toward left field. That ball is going to land fair. Another run will score. Cain will go to the third, and another bloop hit for the Royals.
Well, here's a lot of the bloop hits the Royals have gotten in the game tonight. Moustakas has done it twice. That would be the first one. That was earlier in the game. Alex Gordon lobbed one in the outfield as well. Well, you get the story. There's Moose again.
It's raining bloop hits. Hosmer just joined the club. His second RBI tonight. That'll bring up Perez. Still only 1 out. Strike 1 to Perez at the top of the zone.
And we told you earlier that when Salvador hits the ball on the ground in these situations, because he's not the fleetest of foot, it's usually a twin killing. He's done it quite often this year. And that's exactly what Bell should be looking to do here.
Slice to right field. That'll get down a base hit. Another run will score. Salvador Perez serves it out to right. His first RBI of the night, 59th of the year.
These guys have no fear of Bell pitching inside. So you saw Hosmer reach out, hit one the opposite way. You saw Perez reach out, hit one the opposite way as well. They don't have any fear of Bell coming inside. Look at Salvador go out and get this fastball. It's off the plate. Literally off the plate, 6 inches. That's because he knew Bell was not going to pitch him inside at all.
Chad Bell done for the night. Wall side windows changed. Stump coming in an 11-4 ball game now. Still batting. Here's our game summary. Michael Fulmer, the shortest outing of his career. He won 2 1/3, 5 earned runs, 8 total. And all 9 Royals starters with at least 1 hit in the ball game tonight. And Mike Moustakas now will stand in against Daniel Stump.
And 21st outing this year for Stump. And 3.46 ERA, 13 strikeouts. He's walked 8.
And it's a ball outside to Moustakas. 2 singles and an RBI tonight for the Royals. They now have 13 hits. After the strikeout of Gordon started the inning, Merrifield homered. They have 5 straight hits. Neftali Feliz warming up for the Royals. Way outside. They'll go to the backstop and the runners will advance. 2nd and 3rd now. Look at these numbers, Rod. 7 for 13 tonight, Brisk.
And that's after going 3 for 19 in the first 3 games of the series.
Now Moustakas has 2 men in scoring position.
And Royals gained a lot of momentum in last night's game where they gave up the lead in the 9th. And then they came back to walk the Tigers off in the bottom half of the 9th. They've come out today. Even though Michael Fulmer was pitching, they came out today a very confident bunch.
They are trying to get back up to 500 with a win tonight. Infield coming in a couple of steps now. There's a high drive to left field. On the move is Upton, still going back. Warning track. He'll make the catch. This will score another run. Sac fly and an RBI as Hosmer comes in.
3 4-run innings tonight for the Kansas City Royals offense. 4 in the first, 4 in the third, and 4 in already here in the 6th. It's a lot of crooked numbers.
So they're back up by 8 again. Here's Alcides Escobar. Slider missing low, 1-0 on Escobar, who is 1 for 3 with an RBI. His most runs for the Royals since June the 10th, when they scored 12 in San Diego. One ball, one strike. Here's the Royals box. Everybody has at least one. Hosmer, Perez, Moustakas trio. Really good tonight, each with 2 hits. Two and 1. It's the 3rd time in this game the Royals have sent 8 men to the plate. The 1st, the 3rd, and now here in the 6th. Chad Bell threw 59 pitches in relief before Stump took over here in the 6th, so he did the best he could. Had a couple of scoreless innings before the Royals got to him here in the 6th. And a strike called. He got him looking. That'll be it for KC, but a big frame. They score 4 more. We go to the 7th. Stadium, the Royals once again opening up an 8-run lead. They're up 12-4. And here are the impending free agents that perhaps the Kansas City Royals are going to have to deal with. And not perhaps, they're going to have to deal with them, but these are a lot of big names.
And they're all right in the prime of their careers, too. All very young.
Moustakas, Hosmer, they came up together. Kane 31, Escobar 30. Vargas, the veteran of the group. We'll see how many of these Royals will stick around once 2018 rolls around. A lot of the Royals that were here just a couple of years ago from their 2015 World Series team have moved on. There is ball one from the new pitcher. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Phillies throws a strike, 1-1. Let's check in now with Trevor Thompson.
And speaking of those free agents, I spoke with Alcides Escobar about that the other day, about reaching this point in his career where he had this opportunity to become a free agent. He said that was very important to him. He's really been looking forward to that. But having said all that, he desperately wants to stay in KC. So that's a guy they might be able to keep. And certainly when you've got a shortstop like that, you want to keep him.
They might be able to keep him. I mean, I don't know how much it'll cost. I mean, he's going to get a really nice payday because he's been a really good shortstop for a number of years. But the guys that are going to be tough are the corner guys. That would be Hosmer and Moustakas.
Little chopper slowly towards second base. Merrifield scooping. And Iglesias is out, one gone. I'll tell you one thing, the agent for Escobar is going to say, my guy goes out there and plays every day.
Every day, literally every day. And he's one of your better shortstops in the sport, too. He takes really a back seat to none of them. And they're all good. Iglesias in that same category. Simmons, Lindor. There's a lot of really good shortstops in the American League. Bogarts, Correa. Whew, it's loaded.
Here is Kinsler. Ian fouls it off 0-1. The new pitcher and the wall side windows change is Neftali Feliz.
And the former Tiger, Neftali Feliz, who started the season in Milwaukee, pitching in their bullpen. As a matter of fact, he was closing games in Milwaukee. 5.50 ERA for Feliz overall. Still has a big arm. 97, 98 for the heater.
And there it was. That's why he's so enticing. That plus when he came up, he was awfully good with Texas.
He really was. He was throwing 100 miles an hour back then. 97 is still plenty good enough to be effective. You wonder why he has that 5.50 ERA.
1-2 on Kinsler. "12-4 Royals lead. We're in the 7th. Missed high again, 2-2. And again at 97. We're talking about all the Royals that have moved on from their World Series team from just a couple of years ago. I mean, big names: Kendrys Morales, Wade Davis, Hochevar, Holland, Johnny Cueto was on that team. Gerard Dyson. So
Volquez.
Yeah, Volquez. They've had some talent move through here. In the air toward right field. That ball is hit pretty well, and it's going to be run down though by Bonifacio. 2 away. Hey, time is running out to get tickets for only $7.20 to see the Tigers play the Royals and Astros next week. Offer expires at midnight tonight. To order, go to tigers.com/tickets and use the coupon code 7. And you heard me right, $7.20 for Tiger tickets. A deal that can't be beat. Here's Castellanos. Nick swings and misses, 0-1.
It's a pretty big swing there by Castellanos, who for the most part of July has been under control, real short, real quick and compact with his swings. That one was a little bigger swing, and that's why he came up empty.
Chased that time as a slider by Feliz got on front. 1-2.
Well, he might just throw this next one a couple of extra inches off the plate to see if Nicholas is in a chasing mood.
Fouled it off, just got a piece, and it got Salvador Perez. I mean, you got to be tough to play that position on a night like tonight when it's 100 degrees.
He's a big boy. I mean, he's about 6'4", 250. Big body guy. Oh,
hello.
Can't nobody help him. All you could do is try to talk to him until he catches his breath.
The only thing that cures that is time.
Yeah.
0-2, Nick. It'll bounce in, 1-2.
He picked that ball clean out of the dirt.
The thing about Perez is that he is on pace to play 147 games this year. And he's averaged over the last 4 years 142.
And that's even with Ned Yost giving him days off, day games after night games, trying to limit the amount of time that Perez has played. Since he's come to the big leagues, he's caught more innings than any catcher in the big leagues.
Fly ball, right field. Bonifacio will cruise back, and that is going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Phillies. Coming up, the Consumers Energy 7th inning stretch. Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank, a part of Detroit and the community since 1849. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows. We can do that. We are the factory. All KC tonight, although the Tigers, who fell behind 8-0, made it 8-4, but now it's back up to an 8-run lead for KC, and Daniel Stumpf is back to the hill.
Lots of changes for the Tigers because of the 8-run spread here. Bottom of the 8th inning. Andrew Romine moves from right field to first base. Adducey goes into the outfield into Romine's spot, right field. Presley goes to left field, and Machado, he's the new second baseman.
And he gets tested right away. Moss is out, one gone. There's Dixon. And Presley left. Here is Gordon now with one gone in the 7th. 12-4 KC. 13 Kansas City hits tonight, 9 for the Tigers. Ball 1. Now the Tigers have taken their big guns out of the game. They're getting prepared now for the 3-game series coming up in Minneapolis over the weekend against the Twins. Fouled away, 1 ball and 1 strike. It is Alex Wilson warming up in the Detroit bullpen. Well, it was a good start to the series for Brad and the Tigers. They won the first 2. The bats were booming, man. They had, 30 hits in the first 2 games. Then the nail biter last night, the tough loss in the bottom of the 9th. And the Royals jumped on Fulmer tonight, although they blooped him to death.
Yeah, they did. A lot of bloop hits. They have a total of 13, and at least half of those bloop variety. They'll look like line drives in the box score tomorrow, though, for sure.
Wave and a miss. 2-2 on Gordon. RBI double in the 30 is 1 for 3. 3 4-run innings for the Royals. 1 in the 1st, 3rd, and then a 4-run 6th. Didn't chase. Stumped at 95, missed high. And that one hit him. 1 out base runner. Here's Whit Merrifield, who homered in his last at bat. He's 1 for 4. Merrifield came in batting .348 career against the Tigers, so he's done some damage against them.
He also has 13 extra base hits already this month of July. Oh, my goodness.
It's just in 10 games.
Not driving in a lot of runs, but he's scoring runs in bunches because he's batting at the top of the order.
Stump will tag the runner down the line, and to second goes Gordon. 2 away. That'll bring up Bonifacio. He's had a couple of hits tonight. He has scored a couple of runs. Of course, the Tigers kind of dug themselves a hole based on their defense as well. They committed 3 first-inning errors.
And they were all mental errors too, Mario. Those aren't physical errors. I mean, the error by Castellanos dropping down to that arm slot, which pulled Miggy off the bag, and then you had Matuk taking his eye off the ball in center field, and then that play by Iglesias as well, just kind of lobbing that ball home. And all 3 of those plays, mental errors as far as I'm concerned. You don't see those types of errors very often with the Tigers team, especially in the Fulmer start. Because he's always attack, 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 so they're always on their toes when Fulmer's pitching. One of them nights, though.
1 ball, no strikes on Bonifacio. Lifted back out of play. Fulmer, Bell, and Stump in this game for the Tigers. They're going to have to take on Irvin Santana tomorrow night in Minnesota, and he's been really good for them. One of the reasons why they have gone from sellers to buyers now.
Irvin Santana already this year has had 8 starts and where he has given up 2 earned runs or less. So Irvin's been dealing this year for the Twinkies.
Now the 1-1.
They're going to miss that Barrios kid, I believe.
Yeah. I think he pitched last night. What a great arm he has.
And he's finally figured some things out. They've always known the Barrios kid to be good, but he's finally figured out some things this year, pitching in their rotation.
3-1 the count on Bonifacio.
And Bonifacio with 11 homers, so he's got some pop in his bat. Rookie batting .254. He's driven in 28.
To center field on a line. Ooh, look out. Matuk had to go down to slide and make the catch.
Great concentration there by Matuk, watching that ball into his glove.
So they leave a man, and you're watching Tigers baseball, presented by Bell Tire. A left-hander pitching in Class A Lakeland, Rod. He's 23 years old. He had a streak of 44 innings without allowing an earned run. It was snapped in his last start. This young man now, a 6th-round pick by the Tigers, starting to put himself on the map a little bit.
That is awfully impressive. And 44 innings without giving up a run in that league. That's a pretty good league. And down in Lakeland, Florida State League, 7-6 overall with the .267, so that's not bad. And 9 strikeouts per 9 innings.
So Albuquerque comes out of the bullpen now for the Royals.
Albuquerque still has a plus fastball. He'll get up into the mid-90s. But he's also still a slider master.
And he goes to work here against Ducey. His first at bat. Swing and a miss. Merrifield now is at first base, so the Royals emptying the bench as well as Drew Butera comes in to take Perez's spot. That's fouled back out of play. 1-2. And Ramon Torres now at second. And Billy Burns out there in center field.
Like a spring training game.
Yeah, exactly. Laid off that pitch high, and the count levels now 2-2 on a Ducey. Twelve runs on 13 hits for KC, 4 runs, 9 hits for Detroit. Way outside, and now Albuquerque has gone 3-2 on a Ducey. He replaces Phillies, who had a 1-2-3 7th. And he walked him, ball 4. He got ahead of a Ducey and ends up walking him. Here's Presley. .307 average for Presley, and boy, this series has been a good one for him. 5 for 10, 3 runs scored. Albuquerque continues to throw balls. 1-0.
Yeah, we were talking about Presley and also Matuk, a couple of guys that occupy center field on most nights, and just how well they have played lately.
Well, now with the trade of J.D. Martinez, these guys will be seeing a lot of playing time now, whether it's Ducey, Presley, Matuk. Really, Upton is the only constant now for the Tigers, the left fielder. Swing and a miss. 1-2. There they are. Matuk on the right, Presley on the left. Having really good months of July. Didn't go. Nope, he held up. Tigers fell behind 8-0 tonight, scored 3 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th. All of a sudden it was an 8-4 game. In fact, they had runners at first and third, but that's as close as they would get. Little line drive into center, another base hit. 6th of the series now for Presley. 2 on, nobody out.
Yeah, that was a really nice, easy swing there by Alex. 2-2. He didn't want to strike out. He wanted to make sure he got a strike, and pretty good pass on that baseball. Take one look at it. Real short and quick.
Here is Mikey Matuk. So now the Tigers have double-digit hits. They have 10. Line drive to left field and caught on a dive out there. Well, there's old Alex Gordon. That's just what he does. One away.
He has been one of the better left fielders in the game of baseball since he left the third base position and went to left field. It's a wonderful catch right there, making sure he kept that ball in his glove, rolling over to take a knock away from Mikey Matuk. Does any hitter get robbed more than Matuk?
No, it doesn't seem like it. And the defensive run saves. Gordon is plus 12, right ahead of J-Up.
Marcell Ozuna on that list, Brett Gardner. So J-Up having an outstanding campaign this year in left field for the Tigers.
Here's Avila getting a pinch hitting opportunity.
It's a nice at bat here to give to Avila. He'll probably catch tomorrow. And with the right-hander Irvin Santana pitching for the Minnesota Twins.
One ball, one strike. Albuquerque, the former Tiger. He had some really good stretches with Detroit.
He did. That slider, man, at times was unhittable. I mean, he could tell you that it was coming, and you still couldn't hit it. Alex, a pretty good low ball hitter, and Albuquerque on the first 2 pitches, right down in the happy zone of Avila.
Alex 0 for 7 in the series.
He's cooled off a bit. His batting average at .291 right now, but his OPS is still over 900, so he's still doing damage.
And he still leads the Tigers with 42 walks this year. 2-2 on Avila. 2 on, 1 out here, the 8th, 12-4 KC. Fouled it off, just got a piece to stay alive. McCann waiting on deck. Avila's heard his name over and over and over the last couple of weeks, and I'm sure will continue to do so in trade talks. More precisely, trade rumors. And there's another walk for Avila to load the bases. Albuquerque has walked 2 in the inning.
Here is the 1-800-CALL-SAM call of the game. Miguel Cabrera in his last at-bat on an 0-2 pitch. They got a base hit up the middle against the starter Danny Duffy, and that was the 1600 RBI in the illustrious career of Miguel Cabrera. 1600 RBI.
Well, I mean, that list is an impressive one as he continues to climb it.
He's going to run down quite a few guys before this is over. I mean, Chipper Jones is in sight.
0-2 on McCann.
That's the way it's going to be for Miguel. About a lot of the hits and doubles and home runs that he compiles the remainder of the time in the Tigers uniform are all he's going to be dusting off these lists. And with Miguel driving in runs and doubles and, well, you name it. He's had such a great offensive career.
Ducey had a walk, a single by Presley, and a walk to Avila. Albuquerque's thrown 23 pitches. He's retired only 1 batter.
And that took a great play from Gordon in left field to get that one out.
Down goes McCann. Slider up. 2 gone. First strikeout for Albuquerque. We'll bring him Romine.
Tigers have emptied their bench here tonight, haven't they?
Pretty much. Alexander, the lefty, will be the next Royals pitcher, it appears.
Yeah, no position players left.
Shattered bat, look out. Albuquerque dodges the bat and throws him out. Tigers will leave him loaded here in the 8th. We go to the bottom half. Around the league, Jake Lamb today against the Reds, 2 out of 5 with a couple of homers and 6 RBIs for Arizona.
Yeah, I don't think JD Martinez played today.
Yeah, Jameson Taillon against the Brewers today. How about that? 8 punch-outs, 5 1/3.
He's legit, man. He's a top of the rotation kind of guy. And with them getting Marte back now, they're right in the Central.
And Cole Hamels roughed up for 7 earned runs against the O's.
How about that? Cole Hamels was outstanding, pitching a shutout in his last outing right here in this ballpark, and gets roughed up today.
Here is Alex Wilson now out of the Tigers bullpen as we go to the bottom of the 8th. And his first one is outside to Billy Burns, who gets his first at bat.
And Wilson pitching in his 42nd game. He has 11 holds this year. The ERA just a tick over 3.5. 24 strikeouts. He's walked 11. Alex has got a fastball. The top side at about 94. Average heater about 90, 91 with good movement. He'll cut it. He'll sink it. Throw you a slider.
Burns recently called up just a couple of days ago from their AAA team. Speedy outfielder was with the Oakland Athletics.
The Royals love to sign and have a lot of guys like Burns in their system in the minor leagues, and a lot of them in the big leagues, guys that can really run. They've always used guys that can run as a weapon in the big leagues.
Kevin McCarthy warming up in the Royals pen. Slashed foul. 3-2 now on Burns. Tigers Live postgame coming up following the telecast tonight. All of the locker room thoughts coming from what right now is a lopsided game, 12-4. Get all the Tigers reaction. Slap to third base, got to be tough. Off balance throw, forget about it. Base hit. Burns an infield single. Castellanos had no chance.
Take one look at Burns basically running out of the batter's box, and he got down the line in 3.5 seconds, and he even pulled up to get there. So yeah, he would have been even faster than that had he not slowed down.
Leadoff man out here in the 8th. Torres the batter.
Torres had that great at bat against Michael Fulmer, and back on June 29th.
And it's popped up middle of the infield. Machado, one gone. Fans RBI Baseball 2017 is out now for Xbox One, PS4, iOS, and Android. Enjoy fast-paced pick-up and play MLB action, packed with all your favorite teams, players, ballparks, and more. Learn more at RBIGame.com. Here's Butera in his first at bat. Right inside, 2 balls and no strikes. Royals now have 14 hits. Two and one. Wilson came on to replace Stump. The Tigers went with Bell after the starter Fulmer was bounced out early in this game. Now the 2-1. 3-1 on Butera. And he lost in ball 4. 2 on now with 1 out. He's going to bring on Moustakas. A couple of RBIs tonight for the Royals third baseman. Made it a game again. They were down by 4 runs, but the Royals responded with a 4-run 6th, and Moustakas knocked one in with a sac fly in that frame. He'll drive this one to left center field, going to get down a base hit. That'll get another run in. Moustakas has another RBI, his 3rd of the night, and it's 13-4 KC. Moustakas now 59 RBIs, 1st and 3rd, 1 out, a run in. Here's Escobar. Ball 1. Big swing there by Escobar. 1 ball and 1 strike. Royals trying to get to 500. They came in at 46 and 47 and only 2 games back in Cleveland. The Indians idle tonight, so they will be a game and a half out. Hey, they're your buddies.
Yeah, they are. I'll claim them.
Ooh, swing and a miss there by Escobar. Those guys take more pictures with fans than anybody in the stands, or in the field, I should say.
Doing a 2-step out there.
Here's a drive in the air to center. Long run. Matuk can't get it. It's going to go to the wall. Another run scores. Moustakas will go to 3rd stop there. RBI double for Escobar, and the Royals are pouring it on.
I know the Royals have a big lead, but Moustakas was not running from first base, and he should have scored on that play had he been running. It would have gotten Escobar another RBI.
Ten-run game now, 14-4, 2nd and 3rd.
Man, that's a cut fastball that's up in the strike zone, hit over the head of Matuk, but on first base, Moustakas not running, just jogging basically. Had he been running, he would have scored.
This is the most runs the Royals have scored in a game so far this year. 12 was their previous high twice. And they have put up 14 against the Tigers tonight. It's drilled to right field, and it's going to drop. Base hit. 1 run scores. They're going to try and score 2, and they will.
Oh, my goodness.
Brandon Moss with 2 more RBIs.
16-4.
So the numbers now on Wilson. He is giving it up here in the 8th inning, and here's his ERA since May, or the end of May.
Well, he was going pretty good in the first 25 games. 1.88 earned run average, the whip over 1. The whip has doubled since June. last 16 games.
Rich Doobie makes a visit, and now 17 Royals hits. They have 16 runs. A 4 RBI night for Moss. He's going to bring up Gordon. This will make it 4 4-run innings in this game now for KC. More action in the Tigers pen. Warwick Soppold starting to warm up. Brad didn't want to have to do that. But Wilson right now has thrown 21 pitches and he's retired 1 batter with 4 runs in. Gordon doubled in a run in the 3rd. Also hit by a pitch in the 7th. He's been hit 10 times this year, which is 3rd in the American League. Rolled foul. Here's a stat for you, Rod. The Royals tonight with men in scoring position.
What are they?
10 for 18.
Oh my goodness.
That's why they have 16 runs.
On 17 knocks. And they really haven't left many on base. They've been picking everybody up. All the regulars pretty much out of the game.
Fouled away. 1-2 on Gordon. 10 for 18, and the Tigers 3 for 11 tonight. Rest. Two and two. Bouncing ball right side. How about that? A seeing-eyed single.
He might have to go get
He's going to have to.
Wilson here. He doesn't want to, but he's going to have to. He's gotten up out of his seat. Is he going to put a position player in?
26 pitches for Wilson. Here's Avila going down.
I think he might be considering using a position player here and not a pitcher, is my guess. And no manager really ever wants to do that.
We might see Romine come into pitch and Avila go play first base. That's drilled toward right field, sinking and dropping in. Another base hit. Okay, another blue pit for the Royals.
Mommy, make him stop it.
It's the 2nd hit of the night for Merrifield. They are loaded up now. Boy, this is just the worst situation for manager ever.
I mean, everything that Willie throws up there, they've just been putting in play. And I think you're right, man. Romine's going to toe the rubber again, I think.
Brad's saying, let's go, Avila.
Well, either that or he's hoping that Willie can get an out here.
Well, he's going to have to get a couple of them. Bonifacio, the 9th man, bat in the inning. 19 Royals hits. Ball 1.
And the Royals, you have to give them some credit. I mean, they're not giving away at bats at all. I mean, every guy, even though they have a 12-run lead, they are concentrating on trying to extend the lead.
Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, Avila pinch hit for Martinez, so they would lose the DH, but that's certainly not the concern here right now. And that's getting these outs and getting Wilson out of this game. Up and in, 2-1.
I guess Alex might be the one that's going to pitch.
Well, by the looks of that, yes. Check swing foul. Romine has pitched. $16 runs, 19 hits. A 31 pitch inning for Wilson and still only 1 out. Fouled back. Look at that. 32 now for Alex.
Yeah, 13 of the 32 have missed the strike zone. And every time he's basically thrown a strike, they've put it in play. Not necessarily hitting the ball extremely hard, but they've found a lot of holes tonight.
Let me ask you something. If I told you before the game started by Fulmer and Duffy, we'd have a 16-4 game in the 9th, would you believe me?
Absolutely not.
Well, technically only in the 8th. But it's been one of those nights where we've had 29 hits and 20 runs between the two teams. Now Wilson again with the 2-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. That is the second out of the inning. Bring up Billy Burns. He started this mess with an infield single. Be a quiet flight to Minneapolis, not only because of the score, but because these guys have to be gassed with the heat tonight.
No, not only the tonight partner, but 4 straight days of this heat.
Good point.
4 days in a row of 95 and above.
This is finally going to get them out of the inning, and that is mercifully that. 4 more runs here in the 8th. We'll go to the 9th. 16-4 KC. Yeah, one of those nights, Keats, unfortunately. And right now we go to the top of the ninth inning. 16-4 is our score, and Kevin McCarthy will come on to close this down for the Royals.
Keats, if you was here, they may have considered using you tonight.
Now, let's not get crazy.
It's been a wild one, and they drew it up perfect. I mean, you would have not expected this on the night when Michael Fulmer started for the Tigers.
Iglesias is out 6-3, one gone. That'll bring up Kinsler. The Tigers will drop to 43-51 on the year. They came in 5 games back, so they'll lose a half game to Cleveland. 5.5 out now.
Every time you think they're inching toward that 500 mark,
yeah,
they take a couple of steps back.
Machado, the batter.
And Dixon entered the game a couple of innings ago for Ian Kinsler.
Yeah, Tigers made wholesale changes. Machado batting .307 is over 3 in the series. The 1-0. Slice to right field, base hit.
That is a positive sign that he is batting .310 or higher. And he really hasn't gotten consistent reps. And he's always been a guy that's been known for being a great magician with the glove, but never the bat. But he's really maturing. 300 in the big leagues. That's pretty good.
Always has been a glove guy first, but now with a couple of tastes of the big leagues, he has really started to round into form offensively.
And he's starting to look like he's really comfortable playing up here on a daily basis.
Castellanos is 0 for 4, all 5 balls tonight.
And Nick's hit quite a few home runs already in the month of July. I hope he doesn't get in the habit of trying to hit everything out of the ballpark. And the only reason why I say that is you just said he's flown out 4 times tonight, or he flew out 4 times tonight.
Here's the 0-1. Runner will go to second without a throw. Machado will take it standing up. Meanwhile, it's 0-2 on Nick.
Nick has flied to right 3 times, and he's flew out to center field once.
Pulled foul. Well, when you size up a series and you take the first 2 games with Verlander going in game 3 and Fulmer in game 4, you not only have a chance to win the series, but sweep them.
Right.
And give the Royals credit. They battled against Verlander last night and knocked Fulmer out early. Foul away. McCarthy replaces Albuquerque. They have also thrown Feliz and Minor in this game. Duffy started, was bounced out in the 6th. It's a third base foul. Tigers have the Twins for 3 over the weekend, beginning tomorrow night right here on Fox Sports Detroit, and then they come back home to take on these Royals again for a 3-game series.
Yeah, Minnesota will be well rested. They played a day game yesterday afternoon, so they had last night off, and they had the entire day off today. It's basically a couple of days off they've had off their feet. Watch out, Dave.
Oh, 2 on Castellanos. A Ducey waiting on deck. Tigers got 3 in the 5th inning and then 1 in the 6th after falling behind 8-0. They chipped it to 8-4 and had runners at first and third. Then Minor came in, got 3 outs, and kept it right there. Right to the second baseman. Torres will throw on Castellanos and advance the runner. 2 gone. So the Tigers down to their final out. That's an 0 for 5 tonight for Nicholas.
That's a rough night.
Well, here is Ducey with 2 outs. Many of the crowd of 29,018 coming to his feet now. He went around, strike 1. Four separate 4-run innings for the Royals. They bunched up 16 runs.
And a lot of crooked numbers on the scoreboard tonight for the Kansas City Royals. Not only the 4 separate innings with the 4 runs scored, but the 16 runs on 19 hits. A lot of traffic on the base paths all night tonight for Royals bats.
The 0-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
'51 total runs scored in the series between the 2 teams.
One and 2 on a Ducey.
Let's go Royals, chance up by 12.
And they have won the ball game. Ducey caught looking. That'll end the game. 16-4. The Royals beat the Tigers, earned the split in the series. Now